That didn't fade like I wanted it to. Hello, Twitch! We are back this week because my brain has not melted this weekend.
Yay!
Huzzah!
I found, someone started, putting around a hashtag like quarantine okay, and I'm like, you mean like quarantine? They said pandemic okay, and I'm like, quarantine? Like, yeah. So, welcome to Magic Fish Radio, where I guess the radio part is pending, but we'll get there eventually. And tonight, we are running our tabletop role-playing game stream, Exit to Eden, which is New World of Darkness in space. Because 6,000 years in the future of the modern nights, humanity has spread out across the stars and a whole nother galaxy, and it took its world of darkness with them, whether they knew it or not. And several thousand years after that, the Veil died a terrible death after the True Fae tried to conquer the galaxy. Like you do. And now our characters are living in a society where the only isms left are classism and hatred of supernaturals. And we got bits. Hi, Vampiric Yoda. Thanks for the bits.
Speciesism.
Woohoo. Speciesism. Humanity adjacent. Yeah. So yeah, in an Eden system in the Expanse part of the galaxy, things are still relatively okay. People can be outwardly supernatural or just like them openly, and not get a whole lot of flack for it.
Thank you, Yoda, for the +1.
Yay, bits. Oh,
Appreciate it.
alright, so, yes, we use channel points rather than bits or monetization for you to buy things to enhance or interrupt our gameplay with. I usually use it to enhance, because that's how I roll. Vampiric Yoda will be nice to you today. PCs, this
a rarity. It does not go unappreciated.
So PCs, keep track of your +1s. The group pool is now at 6, because we don't make them expire between games, because that's mean. I, as a GM, have 13. Probably because I don't make enough of us roll in this game. But half of us met playing Fate, so that's just gonna happen. It's like, whoops. There are rolls in regular Fate, I think. I don't remember. We've only played Faith Core here. Anyway.
Fudge dice. I mean, I'm assuming they make rolls.
Fudge
These
dice.
fudge dice.
Like, they need the dice for something. Anywho, but today we are doing World of Darkness, NWoD, and we are going back to the first edition NWoD, the NWoD equivalent of Laws of the Night, the original LARP rules, which brings all of our rolls down to 1d10 roll, plus whatever dots they have on their sheet. Speaking of which, these are our players. They are all either Supernats or Supernat adjacent, and they all work for a tourism company that is a front for an underground railroad. Because it is illegal to be a Supernat in several parts of the galaxy, and they help them get out. You know, for a sliding scale, budget-based price. Because you gotta make them... They're not dollar bills anymore. They're something. But yes, if you haven't noticed, if you haven't figured it out, I'm the GM, Ms. Chrysula. And let's go clockwise on, well, for my screen. I don't know what it looks like for y'all. Merc, who are you playing today?
I'm Merc. I play Dun, the Wolfblood. Wolfblood's not technically a werewolf, but somewhat adjacent. I'm probably the most human in the party, which is somewhat ironic because I'm also the fightiest in the party. I have a lot of guns. And I clean them every Thursday.
Thought it was Wednesday.
Wednesday, right. Neither Thursday.
Woden's Day. Woden's Day, because this is Eden system, which was clearly founded by space Vikings. Zardos, who are you playing today?
I'm playing Holiday, the piano-playing lawyer. I might be supernatural adjacent.
Might be.
Sure.
Possibly.
There's a chance.
You know, your character's right to... You don't have to be out about your status. It's, you know... It's your life, your PC's life. Trixie, who are you playing today? Well, you individually wrap the small items.
Hey, we all need fidget things when
And
we have
are her-
ADD.
Yeah, and are harassed by Kitty.
Yes, will be one or two cats visiting throughout this thing tonight because they're being needy today. Hello, I'm playing Pricely, who is, if I'm remembering correctly, through the brain fog of the last few weeks at Changeling. And we're vibing.
Woohoo! And Klaus, sorry, Dracus, who are you playing today? Speaking of brain fog, mine just kicked in. Whee! I might have to put my
Funnily
glasses back
enough,
on.
I think I probably just respond to Klaus at this point, but I'm Dracus. I'm playing Klaus, who's the character who is the team's
Medic.
entertainment guild person, medic, sometimes currently plagued by a really pesky AI that I'm not entirely sure I want to go away now because it knows my secrets.
Better your secrets than mine.
And what's great,
Yeah, you would
chat,
say that.
What's great, chat, is that was a chat buy-in with channel points,
It's excellent.
and I'm just like, ooh, I like this idea. And it wouldn't have been quite so bad, except Klaus, people kept rolling ones.
There were so many failures last time.
I failed to defend against it. Josh
You
failed
you failed
to...
against it. You failed to compartmentalize it. You failed to hack it out. And then Patricio failed to hack it out, and you both failed that one twice. So.
And the hacker friends failed to get rid of it too. They got a one as well.
All in all, we've had a wonderful new addition to the party.
Yeah.
That just makes me think of how I failed in another tabletop RPG with my character.
Yes,
In that one.
And the AI's name is still Min Buttspace.
I do not
because that's Arcane the Sage being mean. Or funny. I don't know. He's also a GM, so I don't know. That's not my computer making the bleep. Okay.
I looked too.
AI in-brain therapist, tomato. Yeah. Alright.
I don't know how the story is going to be, but.
So, just curious, who could remember what happened last game?
Min butt space.
That's
Okay,
it.
but aside from that.
I did some minorly unimportant things involving a mega corporation. The rest of you did other things that were much more interesting and cool.
Minorly unimportant. No. That conversation was both very long and very interesting.
June finally got his shower.
Yep.
Ah, yes, and was informed by the Sentinel, his sainted auntie.
Yeah.
Basically the local leader of the werewolves, of which there are 10 in a city of 80 million, because the gauntlet's really high here, and no one's quite sure why. Yes, finding out that possibly the Chiron group director was possessed by a spirit, and not just any kind of urged kind of creepy spirit possession. This one is something called acclaimed, which is a more advanced spirit possession, which is, well, you would assume difficult to deal with, because this was the first time you've ever seen the Sentinel run away from something.
Yep, which is what probably asked in the first place, but
that's bad.
The important part is that she came to tell Dune this while Dune was about ready to get in the shower. So Dune and the Sentinel had this conversation while Dune was in a bathrobe with pink fluffy slippers on. So
Here for it.
They're werewolves.
I think about that sometimes.
That's where our brain wanders during the day when our brain is mush. That's where the brain wanders.
Yeah, there are just a handful of things, such as lines from the Magnus archives and certain memes, and Dune having a conversation with his aunt in a bathrobe and pink fuzzy slippers.
The the top werewolf in the city, his aunt.
Yeah.
Biggest, scariest werewolf in the city, his
Yeah.
aunt.
Dune's aunt, who's fucking terrifying.
So yeah, and Holiday had a lunch meeting with not a director. Oh, what is Gale's rank?
Mix Frentic. Sorry.
Yes,
I
Exfrentic.
got the M and the F correct.
Did I not write? Well, they're a rep. They're a Megacorp rep.
I don't have it noted what their rank is anywhere.
I know I was referring to them as a lieutenant because I'd been watching a lot of Star Trek gaming, and it just sort of made sense in my head.
Yeah, their middle management. The director isn't their direct superior, but yeah.
And they revealed to Holiday that they wanted to
Start a thing in.
Yeah, they wanted to maybe, Megacorp, maybe partial socialist infrastructure isn't so bad. And maybe we don't have to hate all of the supernaturals, etc. But to do that, they have to have, data. And to do that, they are going to try and put something together in Idun City, without all those awful lobbyist trappings that usually Chiron brings with them. But they are also saying that many people in the medical division are like, yeah, can we just help people instead of price gouging them into poverty, or, bleeding heart medical people.
Saving people, hunting things, the family business.
Lol. Yes, and Klaus, one of the news, one of the news hosts on an LCD screen on the side of a bus started talking to them, and turned out to be an AI in disguise. And
Yo.
oh, and just so you know, chat, I will do my best with the characters you give me from buy-ins. I will probably alter them somewhat to fit the setting. But just trust that I'll do it in a fun way. So that's, just a regular AI that's uploaded themselves into a medical mage's head, and it's probably fine.
It's fine.
Everything's fine. Yeah, and Pricely's been around because Pricely went to help crash the Chiron party the other night, and then continued to go drinking and partying with the rugby wolf-blooded team, the wolf-blooded rugby team.
Yes.
The rugby cousins.
And since it's my personal line, it's like, yes, she was taken good care of by lots of burly people of varying genders who taught her how to drink and made sure she paced herself. And Pricely has some phone numbers if she wants them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, another player +1 from Vampiric Yoda. Thank you, bro. Alright. What was... I sensibly took a week off so I would have game to run today, and I'm staring at it, and my brain is just like, nah, let's not remember how to read.
What are words?
ADHD is so much fun, guys.
I would 10 out of 10 highly recommend.
Word.
Alright, so it is Sunday. Over the 10-episode arc that was Hackercon, no regrets. I'm fine with it, because at least half of it was stuff that the players decided to do that I didn't expect, and I'm like, you know what? That's fine. I'm gonna do this too. Woohoo! More NPCs!
Party!
Party! In the middle of all that, are protagonists, because heroes are hard to come by in the world of darkness. Worlds of Darkness. I don't know. There's a lot of additions. It's confusing. Our protagonists stumbled upon a true Fae incursion into the convention center of the Expanse Technical Conference, and then blew it up, more or less. The convention center's still there. The Thurzaz, as experts have concurred, and emergency services, the Thurzaz is no longer there. Thurzaz being a more alien, fun-sounding name for the True Fae, because they are effectively interdimensional aliens in this setting, and also still the True Fae.
Cthulhu Fatagan.
Tomato, tomato. Cthulhu Fatagan. Yeah. But the emergency services, on which there are many changelings because they feel safe being out here, and then also have connections through their various courts to more experts on incursions and the like, have pretty much cleared the area. It's like, we can't find any more incursions. It was just this guy, it was only the game dev wasn't even a privateer per se, but definitely working for the bad guys. Because the Thurzaz like nothing more than to kidnap humans and turn them into changelings, or sometimes even better, re-kidnap changelings that have escaped. Because the True Fae will take you and turn you into something they deem useful at that moment. Whether you are a lantern, or a firewall, or a sword, or
A server.
a pretty rock. The True Fae are weird. They're literally, with a Y. No one really understands what their deal is. No one really wants to, because that would mean having to get closer to them, and that's scary. And even changelings who return, escaping from their dements, don't have the best memories, the most cohesive memories of what happened to them.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
There are a lot of changelings who are not sure. And the more they lose grip on their own version of humanity, the less sure they are. Anywho, but yeah, it's Sunday. Y'all spent Saturday hanging out with a bunch of the Code Monkey hackers, which Petruchio has made friends with, and making friends with them has suddenly given him even more bonuses on his die rolls for hacking. Don't know how that works. Hey, Fadier. Yes, we are all playing today. I am alive, I think. The Great Yokai War? Alright.
I have questions.
Arcane the Sage has more or less seen all the anime.
Understandable.
So when he suggests something like that, it's either food or anime related.
If it's anime.
Oh, sorry, Fadier. I put it up on our Twitter feed that our Twitter account that we weren't gonna game that day, but it was a little last minute. Yes, follow us at Magicfish Radio on Twitter if you want to make sure we're running game that day, because we are in the middle of apocalypse, and many of us at this virtual table are spoonies, and shit happens, and then we can't function, and then things fall apart, and
I'm sorry.
Spoons are
I
important.
have to laugh because you say, some people who are spoonies, they say, as I eat ice cream with it.
with a straw.
Yeah. There's a shirt that I want that says, "I've run out of spoons, don't talk to me," or something along those lines. And I just,
The one I like is no more out of spoons, only knives left. It's like, oh.
I need that in my life.
All right. So yeah, we'll say Petruchio is hanging out with their new friends back at the Expanse Technical Conference for today, since it's safe. It is the last day. It is Sunday at Con, so it is less crowded than Friday was before someone found out one of the video games was actually a True Fae in disguise. Oops.
The hard way.
The hard way. Not
Actually,
so
800
hard, though, because you did get 800 people out of a Thurzaz, plus about 20 changelings that were forced to work for it. So... And all those people, as far as you know, are safe now. And the authorities and their changeling consultants have cleared this space for use as safe for regular humans. So yeah, are y'all going back to the con on Sunday? Because I think Dune, do you have a appointment for new plugins, or did you make that with the local vendor who was gonna see you at their shop in Idun City?
I was gonna say the local shop in the city because they didn't have anything at the booth that was any better than what I had.
Yes, Vadior, I do still have the
Didn't Darth Raven show up at the desk court?
Darth Raven showed up at the coffee shop.
Right.
Or rather, a creature of the night court at an internet cafe for some reason.
Everyone needs to be at the internet cafe sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're in town for a tech convention. And... Well, actually, no. Darth Raven didn't seem to be with that group. This is just his usual haunt of an internet cafe. Meh.
That's any reason not to be at the convention. Sure, I'll head back.
A creature of the night haunting the internet cafe. Sounds like Five Nights at Freddy's. Almost. So no, I'd be going to the local shop.
Okay, well, she's still at the convention today.
Yeah.
And she or they? I don't remember. I have it written down somewhere, but it's not right
The
here.
assistant was she, but I believe the actual owner was either they or he.
Oh, yes.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to not go to the convention unless I get a text saying that I should come to the convention, because I've got a pesky AI in my head, and being in public sounds like a miserable business at the moment.
But wouldn't the pesky AI send you a note that said you need to be at the convention anyway?
I would know that it came from the AI, I think.
Would you?
I mean, like...
Would you really, though?
You know, I guess that depends on how well the AI rolls to hide it from me.
Okay, let's do that. I have 13 plus ones to you.
Ah, fuck.
All of the plus ones.
Okay, roll, yeah, roll, wits computers.
Okay. That is a 10, which is 1 success. Yeah?
Okay.
My little sticky note fell down. It doesn't like to stay on my monitor. It's quite upsetting.
Oh well. Too bad for Klaus.
Fuck.
Well, Klaus, you get a text message that from some of your club buddies who are like, yo, we're gonna hang out at the con today because it's Sunday and we kind of do want to see what's going on. And we think we could unload, you know, some interesting stuff to people who are maybe a little anxious to be there. Capitalism, yeah. Sounds like your friends. Associates.
Yeah, they're glorified co-workers. A tier below my carve co-workers. There's a hierarchy of people that Klaus respects, and none of them are really friends. Well. I'll see this message, and I just... Do I dare go out? Could make some good money. I'll text back, where are you gonna be?
And they're like, we're gonna start in the dealer's room. Because there's creepy megacorp people on the main floor.
If we can sneak in some way to, I don't know, fuck with some megacorp people at some point during the day, I'm in.
Okay, what'd you have in mind?
I don't know yet.
You do still have a backdoor into their computer systems, but sadly your hacker is not here right now.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure I want to mess with that bit yet.
Anywho. So yes, so con is still happening, and is anyone else going today?
Yeah,
Yahoo!
I have no reason not to.
I mean,
Yeah.
y'all got a con pass for all 4 days.
I will shoot a text over to everyone else and be like, I'm headed into the con against my better judgment.
I will go because I actually haven't. Presley hasn't really experienced the con yet.
Yeah, you were mostly like in a bar, which was
I was-
fun, but it's not like the con.
I was in a bar. I was in a hotel. I was in a bar again in a hotel.
Dune, I think, will not be going to the convention. It doesn't really. A hacker convention is not really what Dune is all about, as it were.
Okay, what is Dune doing today?
Dune's probably out going to canvas, walk the streets and talk to his Wolfblood cousins, get a feel for what's going on, and possibly spread the news about the claimed. See if anybody knows anything more about that.
We'll tell you that no one of the cousins you know the best are typically the ones that are from Idun System, and they haven't really heard of that before, but they're
Yeah.
people what knows people, and they'll get that moving.
Yeah. And worst comes to worst, I can ask Jasper again, because he would know. He's the other one who would know, and I do know him.
Yeah, he might.
That's what I'm going to be doing today, because that interests me far more than hacking, which I do with an axe.
Hack.
You
Yeah,
want me to get that thing out of your head?
that is the thing you do with an axe.
I finally started watching Vikings yesterday. Yay,
Ooh.
axes. So many axes.
It's on my list, and I
watch
just keep
that.
going like, I will watch that at some point.
So yeah, Dune, what you actually hear from the various people in the Wolfblood Mafia is a lot what our other 3 protagonists walk into as they approach as they get to the convention center. There is a lot more security, but you're still permitted to bring your own weapons so long as, you have the mark on your badge, because this is an open carry city. Full of supernaturals. What could go wrong? So, there's just more security people, and Pricely and Holiday, you can tell a lot more of them are changelings. Just, changeling folk tend to be better at seeing other changeling weirdness than other supernaturals, which is kind of how the True Fae get so many humans in the first place.
I was talking to Dracus, and I was like, Presley is just the vibe check, and so she gets vibes off of other. She just like feels the vibe off of other changelings, and she's like, yeah, they passed the vibe check. They're changeling.
Dowsing sticks, looking for vibe.
It's just on her business card for like the company. It's just like Presley
Locate
vibe check.
Boop.
I think I'm going to look for Presley when I get to the con and see if she would be interested in wandering around with me, just so that in case something goes a little weird, I've got someone to maybe keep me in check on the outside.
That's a good idea.
Because like she's aware that something's going on in my head. That was in the group chat.
Yeah. Parsley is up to date on the group chat, even though
Yeah.
she has been drinking.
Yeah.
You can do both.
Yeah, 100%, especially when you're taught to pace yourself.
Hmm. By professional Welsh rugby players.
Yes. It's amazing what professionals can teach you.
Yup. You just talk to people. It is great. Okay, so Klaus, as you are, walking into the convention center, that voice in your head is like, "Hey, who are those assholes?" Which almost instinctively makes you turn your head and look, and there
Which
is
assholes?
there is a protest, a small protest across the street of the group Humanity First.
Oh,
You can
those
guess
are
what they
assholes.
hate.
We may be getting up to shenanigans.
Holiday, as you walk by, anyone can notice it's not a whole lot of people because this is basically a hate movement that is, hates Supernats and anyone Supernat adjacent or sympathizing, because the colonies, the core, the expanse, all of its colonies therein should belong to humanity first. And Supernats never did nothing for us, which is blatantly stupid to assume, but, they can't see spirits or other Twilight creatures. They can't see hedge gates. They can't tell when, a video game is secretly a true fae trying to eat them.
Were any of these people in the computer
Which time?
that were eaten by the Therazaz?
Not that you're aware of.
Okay, I'm just doing a quick crowd check, because if there are, I'm going to punch them vigorously in the face until they stop.
Yeah, you don't sense offhand any of them being dream touched or changelings. Changelings can just sort of see that they're changelings.
Yeah.
It can be a little awkward in this town where most people are out with their status, but you don't have to be. There is an option to check that off on the census, but you don't have to. It's opt-in. But you don't see any Supernats over there. You also don't see any Megacorp badges or anything. It's none of these people have bought badges, it seems, or at least are not wearing them outside of their clothes. They just have, Supernats go home, or Supernats get out of our system. This is our town, and
I'd like to see any of these people in Wolf Country.
oh, yeah, that'll be fun. How dangerous
Time to
could
get
they be? They're
popcorn.
just really tall and have banjos. What? How bad could it be?
Would
Someone
you
get the
like to
popcorn.
test that theory?
I'm sure we're safe in this cabin in the woods. Wait, is that wind chime made out of bones? Medicine check. Are those human bones? Oh,
Crap.
good. Werewolves are twisted sometimes. Forsaken gets twisted. But yeah, so it's just a bunch of human douchebags with signs, and I can't think of a catchy slogan right now, but basically, why are you reopening the con when there was a Thursday's incursion? This is clearly a plot. So, Supernat Anon.
Go back to what you were doing.
Supanon. No, we're not going with that. So, yeah, these assholes. You've heard of this movement in other systems, and in other systems, especially in the Expanse, they are quite dangerous, and some of them amass quite a lot of power through grassroots organizing and, kicking up hatred and all that fun stuff. But here, Eden City, you've been in here a bit for a while now, and weren't really sure these guys were even here.
Mm-hmm.
And there are cops keeping an eye on them. Mostly, as far as you can tell, mostly human. Maybe a couple of them are changelings, but they do have a right to freedom of speech so long as they don't attack anyone.
Was that a warning?
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, but they're not going into the con. They are just sort of across the street, like, real dumb, stupid douchebags who protest at real conventions.
Yeah, so we're ignoring them and going into the convention because
Yeah.
they're not people. They
Yeah,
don't
it's not a picket line because they're demonstrating on the other side of the street because the cop said so, and we're like. Also, maybe they don't want to go into a convention center where there were true fae. Because maybe they're weak as shit. Anyway. Anywho. So yeah. But yeah, so once you get to the convention center, there is just generally more security. And for vibe checking, they are kind of nervous. More nervous than they would usually be at a nerd convention. But, you know, no one's like at a... No one seems to be at like a crazed terror level. Everyone's just like, let's just keep our eyes open. And, you know, let's be vigilant and make sure everyone is safe for the last day of this event.
We don't want the entire weekend ruined.
And but yeah, more security everywhere. Patrolling the and not just both more private security from the Sal Convention Center, but also actual police officers. But they're actually not carrying weapons a lot. They're mostly just like a baton here and there. Most of them are beat cops who don't carry weapons. But also a lot of them are changelings, so you know for a fact that some of them are weapons. Which is another reason why making firearms illegal in this town is kind of a stupid waste of time.
Yes, let's make sure that the normies are helpless before the maddened werewolf, probably not local, but who is coming down at them with, claws that are 2.5 inches long or whatever.
Or the changeling that you can't even see they're magical until you've got a stone sword through your gut. Like, this is Idun City. Shit happens. Although, I mean, Idun City's an interesting place, where, things are usually pretty chill. But also, there hasn't been a Thursday's incursion here, as far as anyone knows, for the entire history of this town and this system. Which you hear a few people talking about in the convention center. But yeah, Klaus, if you go to the dealer's room, you do not find your buddies. And while
Around
these
for a moment, and I'm like,
while these buddies are a little on the flaky side, like they don't usually call you to a place and then aren't there. Like they can text. They would text
yeah,
you that
they'll
they had
at least
moved
say
on.
that they're not showing up. So
They're not big on pranks.
Okay, why did you want me here, you pesky AI?
What? Well, I mean, this is more interesting than staying at home. And, don't you just want to teach those humanity first assholes a lesson in being stupid and close-minded? And well, I'd love to document it. I'm a journalist.
So you keep saying.
Wait, I didn't. Oh, fine. Yes, you do hear a cackle. A soft little cackle. That might be a processing click, but or both. You don't know. This is annoying. One of the things you do see is the dealer's room. It's I mean, it's Sunday at Con, so it's already kind of sparse compared to the other days. One table that's really hopping is if you remember the Church of the Weird had a little like fan table thing down there where they were like, we're funding a scholarship for technical studies for changelings. Yay! Sign up here. Here's the registration form. There are a lot more people. There's several more people staffing the booth, but there are a lot more changelings and others checking out their literature. And someone's got a guitar and is playing soothing music. without lyrics, because they don't have a Jesus to sing about. They do other stuff.
You wanted a documentation about, I don't know, whatever the hell's going on here? There's some collective trauma.
Ooh, Pain. Pain gets clicks.
I'll let
Emotional
Presley
trauma.
know where I'm at and make an effort to just kind of hang out in this area until either she shows up or I know she's not going to.
Yeah, Presley. This place, it's oh, you're also not from New York. I don't suppose you've ever been to the New York Comic-Con. Okay.
I've seen pictures.
Okay, it's basically like a structure that is that big of a city block, but is 20 stories high. This convention's currently only taking up the basement, the main level, and then a few more floors up for tracks and panels and like coding rooms and
Okay.
on Thursday or Friday, I think Dune and Klaus walked into a whole like game dev contest where people were building a game at con about
I
an
didn't
evil
walk
spirit
in there.
goose.
There would have been a problem if I had walked in there.
Oh, that's right,
It was just
Petruchio.
Klaus.
Petruchio was looking for the cookies,
Yes.
Yeah.
which he put a tracking chip in because Invictus life.
I started spreading rumors about the goose happenings. People
Abyssal
were
goose.
shocked.
Why did I just immediately think of the cookie robots from Despicable Me?
I know, right? I said cookie robots, not boogie robots.
I still haven't seen. I think that's not one of the ones I've seen.
Oh my god, you need to see it just for the inventions.
I do like me some mad science.
Little cookie robots that are like Girl
So-
Scout style cookies. Good stuff.
So yeah, while anyone who's in the dealer's room will then see there is a person that is clearly to the changelings in the group a wizened, and another changeling is trying to talk to them and explain, no, but you're changeling and it's okay. I am not a changeling. How dare you? I do not remember ever being taken. How could I be a changeling? I've never been to Arcadia. I just like, and they're like, but you could, and it is, and the church person is sort of like more not really getting angry, more concerned because this person is clearly delusional, or not delusional, but just very strongly in denial about being a changeling, and that is kind of causing kind of a circle to form around these two people. And
Before
again,
Presley even gets the text, she just sees mobs of people and is like, "Ooh, what's that?
what's over there? I smell drama."
Hi, smell interesting things going on. I want to go that way."
And the church person gets to well, all right, if you're not a changeling, then how can you see that I'm a changeling? It's like, well, maybe I'm just a more evolved human who has the ability to see people like who are like that now. Because like, you don't tell me that doesn't happen. There are plugins to detect all kinds of things, and there's like Supernats detectors in the core now and in the Expanse, and yeah, and people are murmuring. There's this one kind of strikingly tall woman with red hair who's just like looks like she's having a migraine but doesn't want to show it outwardly, but like it's wearing on her a little bit, and she's like, I think I need to go for a sec.
This is just painful to watch.
And one of the person she was talking to is like, yes, Madam Priest, and like and explains to her where there is coffee on this floor or food on other floors, or she can take a break. Anyone in the party who is a changeling will notice a striking difference between her and pretty much all the other changelings there is that her mantle is that of deep dark shadow. which would designate her as a member of the Night Court. And yet she's a priest in the Church of the Wild? Her form is also very striking when you look a bit closer. She's got long red hair still, but just gold eyes and bronze skin and just burns like candlelight, but is wreathed in shadow. And yet has a tiny migraine and needs to go get a cup of coffee or something.
That tracks.
She just something about the situation just has her going like, what? Where am I? What? I don't even know. And yeah, she departs, and there are still people signing up for the scholarship or inquiring about other programs, and also humans as well. But really, right now the spotlight is I am 200% sure I am just a human.
Check mark for the humans.
If anyone wants to give me a roll of I forget if this is something you can detect, but I think we let's go with if anyone wants to roll wits empathy on this guy. Let's go with that.
I'll try it.
Because, I mean, Klaus, you can't see the marks of changelingness, but you definitely get a sense that there is
I
a
can
changeling.
hear the argument.
Yeah, you can hear the argument. Someone who
I
is
have
clearly out.
ears.
21.
2 successes.
Okay, Klaus, you definitely get a sense, I think this guy might be a bit delusional. Holiday, you can actively sense that this person's clarity is quite low. It's a bit weird that it seems so, like, centric on themselves. But definitely people, when their clarity gets to, like, a 2, most behave immorally because they're losing connection to their humanity. Others get real delusional because they can no longer distinguish between reality and fantasy, and their brain will compensate when things are not great.
I'm gonna flag a couple of emergency services people.
And they're like, yep, you get a changeling and a non-changeling.
Please change line up.
Okay. So
From the head nod at the yeah. He's having a what's the best way to describe this? His lens is foggy.
ooh.
You might wanna
I mean, it doesn't seem violent, but yeah, true. Yeah, we should help him out. Okay.
well, I don't want him to set off a chain reaction. Where he causes clarity issues for everyone else.
Understood. Thanks for the tip, man. And this is again a beat cop, so they're not, they're wizened, they're not carrying any weapons. They just sort of, go up to him with like hands out, and it's like, "Hi, you seem like you could use a cup of coffee. You're not in any kind of trouble, but do you wanna come with me and talk about it, sir? Or are you doing okay?" He's like, "I'm fine!" And just like, "You cannot tell me what to do, I am not breaking the law, I am being loud in a loud space," and just kind of going on and on and on. And then he's like, let me see. And the plainclothes police officer is definitely getting a sense that he is not plainclothes. The beat cop is very sure he's making this worse and is not sure how to. He's definitely following the procedure of de-escalation, but hedge logic doesn't really work. Even in terms of like he's doing just like, "It's okay, sir, it's all right," and just trying to keep his voice soft and being non-threatening, and this guy's just getting more and more agitated. And like they're both wizened, and it's just weird to watch.
But the most human thing you can do right now is have a cup of coffee. So why don't you take the nice man up on his offer and go have a wonderful cup of human coffee?
You see the other beat cop, who is not a changeling, kind of types something on his phone like he's trying to do something, and then nothing happens. He's like, oh, damn it. And then he's like, yep. Like, what is... Okay. Alright, roll for it. Roll, where is your sheet? I pulled them all up. Oh, that's right, yours is the one that's in color. Roll... This seems to me like a presence persuasion type roll.
Okay.
I would allow this to count as arbitration, I think.
And that lets me add, what, an additional +1?
Yes.
Okay.
And you also got a +1 for retweeting, if you want to use that now or save it for later.
I'll save it later. So 10 on the first roll, 4 on the second one, plus the 8 is a 22.
Why do I make anyone roll in this game? 1 in 10 chance of botch, and 22.
I
Alright.
mean, we spent like a lot of rolls last time botching the hell out of the situation. So, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what, I will take up free coffee, because that's my right as an Eden System citizen, and the Wise is just like...
The human thing to do, right next to that service tent over there.
Yeah, and you can tell they are ushering over to the floor, not to the cafe, the little coffee area, the little cafe kiosk, but instead to like the first aid tent.
Yeah.
Where again, it's emergency services, and there's a couple beat cops there, but no one's looking to throw down today. Everyone's in hypervigilance mode, but no one is angry. So completely different than if werewolves were patrolling everything. Or at least Eden System werewolves, because they fucked up.
I'll check my phone and see if that intern is still supposed to be meeting me somewhere today.
If that, which intern? Oh, the intern. Oh, what was that intern? Todd the intern. Todd Jimin.
Yes.
Todd Jimin's like, oh yeah, I'm up at the Chiron booth. Because we're working again today. Yay, work! Work, I get to talk to people who live here who are fun.
You have fun at the Chiron booth. I will be wandering around.
Okay, cool. See you later. Yoo-hoo, Con! And once the unfortunate delusional person has been led away, the priest comes back. And, you know, she's got a cup of tea or coffee or something and is just talking to various people and offering counsel and comfort. And it's interesting that the spiel that they have is about, well, you see, by following the path of the weird, we become more ourselves and find our place in the story of the weird. And thus, we have more capabilities and more ability to protect ourselves from those that made us this way.
That half tracks.
And she's chatting, she's being very cordial, but there is something a little unsettling about her, and she doesn't seem like she's acting like she's not sure if everyone is vibing with her. It's weird to, like, not quite self-conscious, but it is a bit weird. A bit strange, I should say, because, well, it's all weird.
Isn't weird like the true Fae? Don't they have weird?
Weird is the power stat of changelings. So, character sheet-wise, True Fae do have a weird rating. But so do changelings. And it's basically Primal Urge, like Primal Urge or Blood Potency. The more you increase that stat, the more magic stuff you can do. But to various creatures, that can feel various ways. Like, no one's, a regular human might not notice a high weird changeling. Even other changelings might not. A werewolf with a lot of Primal Urge will just feel terrifying to be around. Because the power stats affect the different splats in different ways. But, she's very kind of... She has a voice that you think could get a lot louder, but she's just sort of trying, you know... you get a sense that she is kind of following a script.
Mm.
And she, you know, it's almost kind of weird seeing, like, a woman of this stature and then just sip her tea. And nod at the person playing guitar, and just looking like she feels a little out of place here, even though she is a priest and she is proselytizing the religion she is a member of.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall. No, okay.
Here's Wonderwall. I said maybe.
So you see the guitar player, and I'm like, aha, yes, at least at one point this today, that guitar player, that acoustic guitar player, well, as I try Wonderwall.
One of the people at the table sees you, Holiday, and is like, wait, aren't you one of the person who fought the, he looks around, chooses his words carefully, fought the incursion the other day? And then is like, laser, everyone zoom. Really?
Which is another reason why Dune did not go back to the...
Oh, good. Glad my cover's intact. Yes.
Sorry, they rolled really high.
Yes, it did.
And the other changelings, like, some are kind of like a little freaked out by the thought of anyone having to do that. Others are like, how did you do it? What did you use? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. Was it really, did people really think they were in a video game? And the tall woman is just sort of like, you know, watching with interest and sipping her tea. Kind of a bit bemused at your discomfort. But then she does seem to be Night Court, and they feed off shame. Which is a bit step away from embarrassment.
It's embarrassment leading into irritation.
After...
Yeah, I will tell them a fairly calm version of the story without any gory details because I don't want to send anybody off. Yes, it was a video game. Yes, it was a very bad person. Yes, he's in jail. Yes, the Therazaz has been banished, and yes, all the people were rescued.
Like,
Yes, it
wow.
hurt.
While all the focus is on Holiday, I'm gonna edge my way to Pricely in this crowd and be like, need some help with the asshole up here. The one that's not me.
The other
Here's
asshole.
a Red Craven.
The other asshole.
All those fillers telling that they cannot keep the crown. He was taken prisoner, he was cast in thrall, but Iron, Cold Iron, is master of them all. Sorry, just want to put that in for the Thursday story.
Truth. Oh dear. Redeemed custom NPC drop. Fadior, a small hyperactive pixie with a severe case of attention deficit. It was shiny! At this point, again, changelings, you see a small creature zipping around like an oversized hummingbird. Zip, 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 zip. Just a bright flash of bright green. Just sort of darting from booth to booth and around and around. Boing, 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 boing. You can pretty clearly, I won't make you roll, you can pretty say, okay, that's a hedge thing. Not a big one, but it is here. Oh dear. At this point, Holiday, as the underlings keep pestering you, suddenly you do sense, you almost feel it before you see it, the waves of shadow, as the tall woman is just, now, this gentleman is deserving of our thanks, but I don't think he came to this event to be pestered. And they're like, oh, sorry. It's like, it's quite alright. and she kind of turns to you and is like, thank you for your service.
Oh, I've been doing things like that for years.
Well, the more incursions are foiled, the less the people of the system have to worry about. So, I thank you.
I appreciate that.
In the city where goblin fruit grows in the streets.
Mm.
And the gauntlet is 6.
I'll point at the brightly colored, fast-moving object. For the other changeling, is like, should we worry about that?
Well, the constabulary, well, some of them can clearly see it. So, I believe they have an eye on the situation, but yes, I believe in civic, well, I suppose I believe in civic responsibility. This is a very different system than the one I previously served in.
Oh, please let there be a Keystone Cop chasing after this thing with a butterfly net.
It's from what most people can see, there is actually a big dude with a butterfly net. Changelings, he is actually a very tall ogre. So the butterfly net is like even smaller in his hands, and it just looks weird.
It's one of those little things. To him, it looks to him like one of those little nets used to try and catch a goldfish for the game.
Yeah, and this guy's, it looks like Dex was his dump stat. Oh well.
This image makes me happy.
A rhinoceros doing ballet.
And the mundane non-changelings can't see it, so about half the people in this space are looking at him kind of confused, but assuming, like, I'm sure something is going on. Yes, is Idun system always like this?
I don't know. I've only been here a little bit myself. But it does seem to be very, very busy and very, very populated.
I have not had a chance to explore, but I've been told goblin fruit grows in the city parks.
Yes, goblin fruit grows everywhere.
I'm grateful for the respite, but I'm not sure if this is the kind of place that I am most effective in.
Well, you'll figure it out.
I was not happy to see the protest outside. Given I'm a refugee from where it down? I'm a refugee from Sandon.
In the DM's notes.
Don't think I'm familiar with that system.
I'm not sure if it made the news cycles. About 2 weeks ago, Humanity First led a purge through the megacity on its main planet.
Well, that's not good. I'm glad you made it out.
Yes, me and we managed to get about 50 people. So you can imagine I'm a bit more comfortable where we must practice in secret and do what we can to protect our own and our allies.
Have you made contact with the court yet?
I'm not the typical priest of the Church of the Weird. I'm also no longer a typical, shadow courtier. I'm not sure if the locals of my court would accept me.
Very real possibility you could find a place with a different court if you wanted to.
I am... Even before my demence, I knew the value of sometimes we must be the monsters to protect others.
You sound like you're ready to join the Nova Court.
I've already joined which court?
Sound like you're ready to join the Nova Court.
I mean, I have many friends there, but not quite. I am not one for the spotlight, usually.
Well, you don't have to be in the spotlight to be in the Nova Court. You just have to be ready to put somebody in the ground.
I will neither confirm nor deny. But, the leadership of the church in this town is not very strong, but it doesn't seem like it has to be.
No, from what I can tell, the government is pretty lax and easygoing when it comes to changeling business, and as long as we're not causing problems, they're not going to bother us. We handle our own issues.
I have noticed. I look forward to spending some time here, whether or not I decide to move on afterwards.
It's generally a safe place for changelings.
Which might be why I am not meeting my full potential here.
If you're used to walking into dangerous situations, this is not a dangerous situation.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong, a break is nice, and there are precious few systems left where humanity first isn't actively persecuting the supernatural populations without oversight or reprimand.
Yeah, we're going to have to do something about that.
The mayor's a vampire.
I heard the mayor's a vampire.
He is. I don't know what kind. I don't know very well. He was at a party I was working at 2 nights back, I think. Yes.
The church has had, not so much offers as overtures from the mayoral office about, sponsored events. The Church of the Weird brings much solace and empowerment to changelings and all sorts of other folks as well, in the Verge systems.
If you want someone to look over the contracts for that, I'll be more than happy to. I'll slide our business card.
Oh. The piano card or the lawyer card?
Well, it's the same card.
Is
It's
it?
just one's in the back, one's in the front.
It's like, thank you.
No problem.
Will you be attending any of our services this evening?
I do not believe so, but I have time available. Maybe later in the day. We'll see how things turn out.
It is, surprisingly as, no, it is, I have not actually been to our chapel yet. I only got in last night.
I don't think I've been to it either. I've been somewhat busy running errands around the city.
My local brothers and sisters tell me it is actually quite large, but just not very fancy. It does not have to be. But also, I come from a place where we did not practice openly, so old instincts die hard.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting meeting you, Mr. Holiday.
Yes. And your name was?
hold on. Her full name. I am Priest Melissa Lampad.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, she just takes her tea and goes back to where all the it's like this tall, like, imposing woman kind of like watching over all of these like guitar church kids. It's just the weirdest kind of, and they're all accepting her and like looking to her for guidance and advice, and it's all very, but she's just like this, like, it looks weird and it looks strange and she knows it looks strange.
Youth pastors.
Yeah. This is the strangest youth pastor you've ever seen. But she also seems a bit more relaxed after hearing your tale of taking out an incursion. Woohoo. Meanwhile, yep. Meanwhile, Klaus, actually no, Trixie, because I'm not sure if it can actually interact with Klaus. Priceley.
Yes.
Roll me Dex plus Dodge. Do you have... Oh, Dex plus Athletics. Oh, Athletics is 0. Sorry.
Oh dear.
Why did you choose now to refresh? There it is. Okay. You said, say again. Sorry.
Dex plus Athletics.
Dex plus athletics. D10, right?
Yes, 1d10.
And -1 because you don't have any athletics.
Rip.
Great. Oh, look, my cool D10 is on top.
That's the important part, really.
Yeah. You said -1. So I rolled a 9, so technically an 8.
Okay,
Plus,
that's,
however,
that's
whatever
a
your dex is.
success. So you managed to narrowly dodge out of the way of the small flying thing.
You know, I was gonna suggest that it fly into me out of like try and get away from the butterfly net,
Yeah.
and like I just turn, see it coming, and duck.
Yep. And the ogre doesn't actually swing his net like he was going to, because he's like, oh, nope, civilian. Sorry, man. It's like,
Person.
whee! Dealer's room! Eee! Contract!
Hey,
Eee!
I know I'm not in the great state of mind right now, but
Actually,
what?
so Klaus, as this thing nears, you get this disturbing sense of, like, you've done things where you can, like, you know, look through twilight and when you try, you can look through twilight and see ghosts and sometimes see, like, ephemeral spirits. Suddenly, you can see the bright green, neon green glitter bomb just almost just punk Priceley in the face. And you see what the guy with the butterfly net is doing, and you're like, you can't usually do that unless you're in the hedge?
Now I know I'm seeing things. Is this your fault?
You're
I'm gonna, like,
welcome.
mentally turn to the AI.
What? You're a mage. I'm just unlocking your mageness. It's fine. Don't worry
Oh.
about it.
I am going to worry about it.
Nah.
It seems
Why
like
do that?
something I should worry
In
about.
subtask, how hard can I punch myself in the face?
Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Why are you necromancing yourself? Why are you necromancing yourself?
Oh, don't tempt me.
I just have your interest at heart, lol.
The other
Dead
thing
inside,
you keep
you say?
saying.
Notice it didn't say best interests.
No.
We're gonna be best interests.
To be fair, I don't know how many
Yeah.
best interests Klaus has.
You're right.
To be fair.
So yeah, Dune, is there anything else you want to do while you're wandering around not at con?
So,
Because
I do
what you've heard from Scuttlebutt among the Wolfblood Mafia is there's a lot more security at the convention center, including more Wolfbloods, but those aren't they're not necessarily obvious to Supernats or anyone.
Yeah.
Especially cops, like beat cops, not just local security or not just private security. And there's apparently a bullshit humanity first protest out in front of the convention center that is stupid. Because racists are stupid.
Well,
Not in the
I
same
do-
way that werewolves are stupid, but they're stupid in their own special way.
yeah. Well, I do like being disruptive, so time to start passing the word and possibly a couple bucks. By a couple bucks, I mean several $100 on meat and beer for a street party in front of the building to drown out the humans first party. Everybody welcome. Come bring your own grills. Food will be provided, but you gotta heat it up yourself and stuff like that. So, time to start organizing a party real quick. Flash mob. Let's do it.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Cousins and friends of cousins, and just a real fun block party that completely blocks out the humans first party.
Yeah. Well, so currently it's not usually like this, but they basically left up the barricades from the other day. So this whole street is cordoned off from traffic.
Right.
Except for the subway stations. But yeah, so the protest is happening on the sidewalk on the other side of the street, which is still a pretty broad sidewalk because this is like a whole neighborhood of hotels and convention center and all that stuff.
Right.
So actually I want you to roll for it. Let's roll what can I make you roll?
That's a D8.
I'm gonna say this is presence.
That's my D10.
And
Oh, I'm so good at that.
let's say presence streetwise.
Okay. Can I add allies wolfbloods in?
Yes, you can.
Okay. And I also had $1 of resources to,
Yeah.
buy some beers and brats to get the party started.
Oh yeah.
So presence streetwise, which I believe also gives me a bonus for being an Eden system. So okay. So that is a 9 plus 8 for a 17.
Okay, so that's 4 successes. So you managed with your Wolfblood Mafia connections to get about 40 people.
Started at least. I mean,
Yeah.
more people will likely join us as we get this thing going. But someone brought a boombox. Someone brought 2 people brought grills, and I come along with like a whole hand cart of brats and beers to get it going.
So and the protesters are quite irked by and not really sure what's going on because none of you look like you're evil or supernats, and they're just what is happening?
But we're conveniently in front of between them and basically everybody they want to try and protest. So it's only going to get bigger.
Unfortunately,
I'm gonna text people, my friends inside, to block party outside, food and drink if interested.
So yeah, you get about 40 people combined. Unfortunately, none of the cops patrolling outside are Wolfbloods. And this guy who is selling hot dogs on the street corner kind of complains to. At first, the cops are just sort of like, "Is this part of the protest? What is this the con? Is this?" And they're kind of like just quietly like calling some people and keeping an eye on things and like keeping an eye on make sure the protesters don't do anything stupid to the locals.
There are boom boxes specifically strategically put to drown protesters out.
So your party makes it about 40 minutes until like a police officer kind of just quietly walks over. Again, another beat cop, no weapons, just like excuse me, who is in charge here? Because you're not with the convention or the protest. Can I talk to someone here who's in charge, please? And does anyone say who's in charge?
Does anyone say who's in charge? I mean, someone's gonna have to talk to the cop, but
Oh, he's in charge, and the guy at the grill points to you. It's like, hey, Dune's in charge, yahoo! And they're like, oh, whoops. And then some of them are like, wait, what? So some folks are like, maybe we shouldn't out and everyone's like, no, yeah, it's a party! Some more rugby players have shown up, different ones than the other night, because there are so many rugby players in this town.
lots of rugby players were doing, but
a
also,
system
it's
favorite.
like, Dune throws good parties, hey,
So it's
Dune
like,
knows where the party's at, apparently.
this lady cop comes up, it's like, Mr. Dune,
Just Dune, thank you very much.
Dune, this is all very nice, but unfortunately you don't have a permit. And you're not part of the convention, or the protesters do have a permit. But so I get what you're doing, but unfortunately you can't do this here today without a permit.
One moment, please, and I will text Petruchio. Can you hack me a permit real fast? Because he's the hacker.
Petruchio, do you happen to be in chat? Let's see. No,
If he's not chat, and maybe holidays, like, as the person who understands bureaucracy, what does it take to get a permit for a street event that's not for profit?
Are you sending me a group chat message for it?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, do I know what would need to happen for that?
I mean, you're a lawyer, and if you're going to try and practice in Idun City, I presume you know the laws.
Roll me. Because this information is not super discreet, but you also know you have to do a roll to look for it in the right place. Let's say this is intelligence politics.
And not a contract.
A permit's pretty close to a contract.
Okay.
More or less. Yeah, I'll allow that.
Oh, okay. Would my eidetic memory help?
You know what? Yeah, I think that would help you figure out which websites, because has Holiday studied much about the local laws and permit system yet?
Not with the nat one I just rolled.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
You are just like, you try to just check it on your cell phone, and your cell phone just goes...
I just send the wrong note. It's like, please see here. It's a link to it's rickrolled.
Send back.
Never gonna
Not
give
helpful.
you
Thanks.
up, never gonna let you down.
Send it again. That's the source I use.
Still not helpful, but thanks. So I'm gonna whistle real loud to get the attention of all the cousins and go, let's pick it up and move it, and kind of, give them the wink and the nod to pick up and move the human first protesters as well.
No, I'm,
They have a permit to be here, but that's from the government. So we're just going to make sure that they get exactly the kind of platform that they really need.
So you're actually picking up the protesters?
Yes, we're going to pick up the protest and we're going to take it with us when we leave. Just kind of herd it along.
Put it somewhere else.
Okay, that's gonna be that's gonna be a roll. Because they don't want to leave, they want to stay there and be hateful.
Let's say be hateful. We can turn this block party into a block brawl real fast.
I would say that would be Are you trying to intimidate them along the way, or?
Yes, if we need to.
Okay, but so. Are you sure you want to use intimidation? Because I would say this is a present socialize roll.
We're gonna sheepdog them away.
But if you're intimidating them, like, you can roll for it, but there might be repercussions with all of those cops. Nice cops, but they are still cops.
So the cops told me to go because they didn't have a permit, right?
Right.
Can I
Well,
try?
they said that your barbecue party doesn't have a permit, but the protesters do.
Right. Can I use subterfuge to try and include the protesters in the thing that we all have to leave because it's not allowed here? Like just pretend, like include the protesters and that we all gotta clear out, boys.
Okay,
you know?
that would more be a manipulation subterfuge, but I'll allow that.
So good at both of them.
At least you have dots in them and don't
Yeah,
have to roll
I'm
any
gonna-
penalties.
Yeah, I'm also gonna drop in a dot of allies wolfbloods because this is my cousins. Okay, and willpower gets me.
+3.
Okay, so I'll drop in a thing of willpower as well, because fuck, I'm not good at this. So that's a 6 plus 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plus. I'm gonna take 2 of our things out of the pool from chat to me. 1 more success at a 14.
Okay.
For 3 successes.
Alright, with 3 successes, you can get about a third of them to kind of follow the food.
Fair enough. So.
But 2/3 of them are still there.
Alright. Yeah. Well.
So you managed to dislodge 1/3 of the space Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah. So.
Gods hate Supernats.
So the protesters have a permit, right?
Yeah, they do have a permit.
So, but is it a permit for them, or is it just a permit for protesting?
It is a permit for Humanity First, which as of yet is not registered as a terrorist or hate group in this city, but then they haven't done much here yet. Oh, bits. Thank you, Voodoo Lukarensky. Yay, bits, and they go in the bit jar, and it's really cute. Yay!
Right.
So yeah, basically they may I mean, so yeah, Humanity First isn't it's there's been debate lately in the city about like should we put them on the terrorist watch group just to be on the safe, but people but they haven't hit us yet and they might not, and they keep trying and failing anyway, so why put in the effort?
I'm going to continue with the party at this point, but I'm going to spread the word among the cousins quietly where the WBC people can't hear us, the Human First can't hear us, to start the deprogramming, which, it's countering their points, it's bringing up better ones, it's that kind of thing. A quiet education campaign.
Okay.
Possibly aided and or abetted by any of the Daughters of the Moon who happen to be in the group. They're not the most social ones, but there might be one or two.
I did want to make a point. Given the setting, it's not really son or daughter anymore. It's more Child of the Moon versus Child of the Wolf.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some more. So will Dune be helping with the deprogramming, or
yeah.
Okay?
Dune's gonna stay with the party at this point, but he'll spread the word among the cousins to help start deprogramming these guys. And the ones who wouldn't leave are the ones who are probably hardcore. So if there's gonna be a street fight later, just let them know. And I will be there for that.
Okay, this is with the cousins, not the cops.
Yeah, this is what this is what the cousins tell the cousins to deprogram the idiots, and the ones, and then in the wider network of cousins in the Wolf Blood Mafia, that the idiots who are still in front of the thing are the ones who can't be swayed easily. So it's gonna be done by force to break them up. If anybody feels like breaking them up by force, let me know. I'm there for that.
Okay, so yeah, you start all right, boys, back it up. And the cop's just very like, thank you, and was like a little like, sees the protest, Dune convinces some of the protesters to go with them, and she's like,
Fakes out some of the protesters into coming with us.
you get a quiet little like from the lady cop in charge. And yeah, y'all start basically just rolling your party away.
Yep.
And you haven't really said where, and the cops haven't really told you where, or
So we'll probably end up either in a nearby park or whoever, if someone's near, if a sympathetic bar is nearby, might sit up there,
Yeah, well, so we just hit the halfway mark, so let me just leave with one more little tidbit. So you are talking to the cops, your kind of focus is away from the convention center. And so you manage to pack up and get a bunch of the douchebags to leave with you, and they're like, that does look good.
Start de-douching them.
We do need a lunch break, and so it is one of the protesters that just sort of goes ah at the convention center itself, as thorny red vines start creeping over the entire face of this building, and they just keep growing like a big scary spidery beanstalk, starting to both encase the convention center with several of your friends inside, maybe, and also starting to spread outwards, curling over and under itself at you and the protesters, and basically anyone within the radius of the convention center. So Redthorn has also... Firethorn has entered the game. So we hit our 10-minute break mark. So yeah, we will get to what is happening inside the convention center when we get back in about 10 minutes. So chat, oh wait, Arcane the Sage, custom NPC, eager galactic IRS agent. Okay, plus some more play. I will count up all the player and GM plus ones. Thank you for using our channel points game, which is fun. And thank you for all the bits, because we don't really monetize the stream, but the bits are really cute. So thanks so much for watching us chat. Stick with us for about 10 minutes, and we'll be back. And I figured out how to do a slideshow for our save screen, so I'm really proud of myself for having that many brain cells to use today. And oh, another NPC. I will look over all these NPC drops on break. I promise. All right. So, chat, we will see you in a few. Don't go away. And stay tuned for more mayhem and misery in this ridiculous, ridiculous space system full of Supernats. Bye! Hello, chat, we are back! Yay, and the bit jar's full again! Yee-hoo! But I was supposed to edit scene transitions. I thought I already... sorry. OBS is being a brat.
OBS is a brat.
I still haven't updated it. I'm afraid of what happens when I do. Anywho. So yes, over the break I tallied up, so... Alright, so... Dune, you used 2 +1s from the group pool?
I did.
Okay, Dune did. Alright, so now, so you've gotten 4 more tonight, so...
We start out with 6, we used 2, we have 4 more, we have 8 now.
You started with 5.
Oh, okay.
So you have... 7.
7, yeah.
Math. Math is hard.
Okay.
That's why we use a LARP system.
Josh just said that he's free now if it's an opportune time for him to
Actually,
appear.
yeah, it is.
I was
Yeah,
like, we
kinda
just got
is.
off break.
I will give him the... we'll give him the choice of whether he is in or outside of the building. But, yeah, dude, jump in. Lol.
Suddenly, Dune has all of the protesters going with him. Like, get the hell out of here.
Petruchio... Well, I don't know. You don't know if Petruchio can do that to a mass amount of people. Yet.
I'm assuming that the Firethorn is going to encourage them to come with us rather than stay where the hell they are.
Yep. Okay.
Like, maybe getting out of, you know.
So yes, chat, if you are just joining us now, thank you, because, you know, we are a tiny stream, and we appreciate every eyeball we can get on us. And yeah, feel free to look in the chat, and, if you've just started, you can't watch the chat, because it's weird. Anyway, we have in-game buy-ins of +1 bonuses for players and the GM, and also NPC drops that you can customize. You buy them with channel points instead of dollar bills or bits. In part because this setting, World of Darkness in Space, as I know it, was developed by a non-profit organization, and I feel weird about monetizing it. Plus, other reasons. We are a small stream. We are not sure what to do with money yet. Luckily, none of us needs it. Like, fingers crossed, because apocalypse. But we very much appreciate all the bits, because they're, like, really cute, and I got to add a little bit jar, and it's super cute. And hi, Josh.
Hello.
So yeah, it's Sunday so to get Josh up to speed, it is Sunday, and Hackercon is open again. And a bunch of people went to the dealer's room, because, Klaus thought he was supposed to... Klaus thought they were supposed to go there, but it was really just their AI voice rolling high on subterfuge.
Wanting to get out of the apartment, I guess.
This is boring. Let's go where the fun is. Let's go back to the con. Holiday got not mobbed, but the Church of the Weird, which is a changeling church, who is still doing their tech scholarship thingy, has a lot more people at their table today because there was just a Thursaz incursion, and everyone needs a little peace right now. Holiday, then, unfortunately, one of them clocked Holiday as, hey, aren't you one of the people that fought the Thursaz? And Holiday got swamped. Met an interesting priest lady. Presley got punched in the face by a pixie. Or rather, just boffed in the face, or almost boffed in that's right, you dodged it. So...
Managed to Matrix Evolution.
Ducked.
That one.
Matrix.
Klaus was briefly convinced they were going crazy for witnessing that.
Yes, Klaus could see the hedge creature, and that's not normal for Klaus. And
The AI seemed pretty smug.
Yeah, that's a smug AI. So I figure, and then, Dune tried to fuck with the, Humanity First protest across the street from the convention center.
By setting a block brownie up in front of them so that nobody can see or hear them, because deplatforming, bigots is a fun idea.
And then, unfortunately, the cops had to ask them nicely to leave because they did not have a permit, and the protesters did.
Oh no.
But, they were nice about it. The counter-protest was nice about it. It's it's all good. But as the barbecues were starting to roll away, someone yelled in terror as Firethorn started creeping up the convention center. And then also out from the convention center towards the buildings across the street, including the protesters.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. See, chat, Firethorn is an interesting flora that is once in a while found in a lot of places in the galaxy. But very, very rarely, and only under really one very specific circumstance. For some reason, it happens here all the time. But, this is a lot of it. Petruchio, were you already inside the building with your own buddies, with your hacktivist friends, or are you just arriving now?
So I think, especially since I was not on camera, I think Petruchio was getting himself kitted for the start. Was since they reopened the thing. So I don't actually know if this puts him outside or inside. Petruchio was getting at least the initial prep to be able to add mods, because he has never been able to do that because he never thought it was interesting. What were you saying? You're looking at me with funny.
Which kind of mods? that term means a few different things now to me. So, like 60s fashionistas, or like moderators, or like modifications,
Or like plugins.
plugins. Oh, okay. So is Petruchio also in the dealer's room?
So Petruchio, I think, was in the dealer's room.
Okay. Then eventually you notice there is a tall man in a dressed as a beat cop with a small net, trying to net something you can't see, and that's happening. Meh. And yeah, Church of the Weird is very crowded and getting a lot of attention today. So yeah, y'all are so Klaus, Holiday, Pricely, and Petruchio are all down in the dealer's room, hanging out, dealing. Well, maybe Klaus is dealing. I don't know.
Depends on whether or not anyone's actually like looking, because I'm not in a mental state to be like starting conversations with people.
You do come across a couple people who are looking for basically off script anti-anxiety help.
I've got that.
You can pick that up if you want. You know how to be discreet, and it's even more helpful to you being discreet when we start hearing the screaming from upstairs.
Got it.
All right.
Wasn't me.
Dune's gonna try and break the protesters up and get them to going with different groups of his cousins, because he is part of the technically Carve and stuff are on the volunteer Firethorn fighting thing, so he does have authority at this point, but also he wants to bust up these idiots and hopefully start trying to debigotize them at least a little bit. So he's gonna try and get them to go with groups of his cousins too, so they can start.
Okay. Again, are you using? So would you be using intimidation or empathy?
I was thinking authority, because I have it now. And if I happen to break the assholes up to send them with my cousins, then that's just what happens. But if it's gotta be intimidation, it's gonna be intimidation.
I'll give you a plus. So you have like your EMS reserve badge.
Yeah, my reservist badge or whatever,
Okay.
Firethorn deputy.
That'll give you a +1, but you still gotta roll.
That's fine. And am I doing presence or manipulation? Or wits?
I think at this point it would be a presence roll, since you're trying to get the bunch of them to pay attention to me.
Okay.
And
Hey,
I would allow
listen.
empathy. Hey, listen. I would allow empathy, or yeah, it would really be persuasion or social. Basically all you have is intimidation. Empathy. I would allow empathy.
Okay. Or streetwise, because I know this from the street.
These aren't streetwise. Is kind of, they're not from the street. Let me put it that way.
Okay. All right. That makes okay. Yeah. All right.
And
let's
the ones that, as the ones that follow you, like, these are not people you recognize, and your cousins have already kind of clocked them as these are out-of-towners.
Yeah.
Like, they can't even find evil protesters in our own system. They have to import them. Like, the fuck.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna go with intimidation, actually, because
okay,
I'm in charge here. I am aggressively in charge here, and like these people have got to get off the street. Go with these guys, do what I say, or I will take. Or Even if I don't tear you apart, the Firethorn will.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll take a +1 because the lady cop that you were very nice to and like not fighting her on the permit thing, is backing you up. So, oh, you're in the reserve. Okay, yeah, what he said.
Yeah. And allies Wolfbloods because they're there. And
Yep. And several of them also have reservist badges.
yeah.
Not all of them, but you know, a bunch.
Alright, and I think one more willpower, because I want this to succeed, and I'm not good at it. Or at least, actually I'm better at this, but anyway. So, presence, intimidation, allies, and then +1, and then +3 for willpower, so... 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then I'll take one more from the pool to make 17.
Okay.
For 4 successes.
Alright.
Yes, that math checks out.
Wait, I'm just keeping track of the pool. Alright, so with 4 successes, like, yes, with your out, like, everyone is listening to Dune as the authority figure. There are a couple of, you know, haterade assholes who are not like, they're such assholes that even their sense of self-preservation isn't overriding their need to question your authority and or is this all a conspiracy? Did they make the Firethorn come here to get rid? But you know, that's like 2 or 3 assholes out of like 50, and they're like, "Yep, we're gone, bye," and a bunch of them are just running away.
Yeah.
Some of them
I'm-
are willing to be shepherded to a safer place by the nice police officers who
And
couldn't
the Wolfblood
possibly
cousins.
be Supernats, because...
And the Wolfblood cousins who are definitely maybe not deprogramming them, trying to, you know, get them to see people as people.
Come along, dear, we have food. You've been through a trauma. Let us talk to you.
Yeah.
Have some barbecue. It's very nice.
Yeah. That kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So that's
And-
what Dune is doing outside.
Okay.
You
And it-
then spot off the street or you'll lose it.
Also, with 4 successes, you manage to do it before anyone gets cut on the Firethorn, which is good. So yeah, and you hear whistles and then sirens from the around the block, and it's like it's probably not just this side of the building.
Yeah, I happen to
But
be
yeah,
here, so I'm
yeah.
in charge on the side of the building now, even though I'm not a cop.
Mhm. Yeah, the cops are yeah, they work with the reservists all the time, and they're like, all right, you know the drill. We know the drill.
Yeah.
Let's get all civilians to safety that we can, and then we will try to figure out how to break this down. Or at least, yeah, and people are also, like, about half the cops are herding civilians, and the other half are trying to get in contact with the cops in the building. Where you can also hear screaming, because when a lot of people in a closed area with bouncy sound reflecting walls start to freak out, it
You hear
gets loud. And you were by the front of the building, which is all that entrance area where it's all that marble and glass and steel and just noise. And that's why I don't like conventions in most convention centers. Put down
And
some
Dune hears
carpet
all
and save
really
my
well
ears, please.
And Dune hears it all really well because Dune's got, you know, that
Yep.
fun hearing. Plus, you know, combat plugins.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, party in the dealer's room. Y'all hear screaming. Do you do anything?
That's not normal.
Yeah, head for the center of the screaming.
It basically sounds like it's coming from, like, there's a dealer's room, and then there's a door to kind of more the vestibule where the escalators are to the first floor. Because remember, dealer's room in the basement, and everyone's pissed about that. And a few other people, like, the cops are checking, and is like, why they scream? What? And yeah, you go up, and before you even get on the escalator, you can see the tall windows of that front-facing wall, which goes up several stories, and there are balconies for some of the floors adjacent. You see unmistakably the shadow of large thorny vines creeping up the side of the windowed building and blocking out the light.
Oh, that's not good.
Do a quick scan of the dealer's room for a flamethrower.
A flamin' with which I can work
You
my
do
flamin'.
not you see where the fire extinguishers are and like the fire hose. You do not find a flamethrower.
Damn.
They were sold out.
The one day.
But you know, you did meet that lady just now who looks like she might be made of fire.
Oh.
Like fire wreathed in shadow, but like, you know.
It's tangential. It'll count. Problem.
Fire elemental. This'll be fine. And as you guys kind of start ascending the escalator, you do hear the security and the cops in the dealer's room is like, everyone, please remain calm. Please stay where you are. We're going to work out the situation and figure out a safe and orderly way to evacuate everyone from this space. And unfortunately, Holiday, as you're looking for the flamethrower, you know that cop that was doing something with his cell phone and then seemed to fail at it? He basically, now that I've finally seen some of the Expanse and the cool, like, vroom, cell phones they have, which is a dumb thing that I like a lot, he basically does that with his cell phone. And unfortunately, you get the sense that he had the opposite effect on the room than he wanted as people in his immediate area start freaking the fuck out. Crying, hyperventilating. Because sometimes mages make mistakes. And his nose starts bleeding a little bit. Because, you know... Oops! That mage rolled a 1.
I'll post in the group chat. There seems to be a bit of a firethorn problem on the outside.
WTF Firethorn.
Yeah, we've noticed the firethorn.
I'll snap a pic of the outside of the building and send that to the group chat.
So what works on firethorn? Fire does, but we don't want to burn down the building, especially since there are a lot of people in it.
No arson this time.
Yes, then you'll all have to roll morality. I learned from my GM mistakes.
Hedge beasts.
I think.
Hedge beasts come and eat it.
Sometimes. This is a lot. And it's still growing.
And why is it actively... Is there some reason the firethorn grows?
I'd like to point out, last time we saw this much firethorn was also the last time we saw these Earth First assholes. They were picketing outside of, like, in the very first episode, which granted only I and Dracus were there for, but they were picketing outside of Saga, or at least the park outside of Saga, and then firethorn exploded there, and, like, that was the problem.
Does anyone else remember any other details about the firethorn, aside from you shouldn't smoke it?
It heralds the presence of the true Fae.
Heralds, but we've already had the true Fae here.
Sometimes it heralds, and sometimes it follows. It's not a...
The weird thing about... a little late.
The weird thing about Eden's system is that this is the first time y'all have ever heard of an actual incursion in the city, but the city itself has tons of these outbreaks, and no one's really sure why.
I don't fucking real. So...
It gives the Dusk Court a lot to kvetch about, but no one really listens to them because everyone's happy in this town.
So there are a lot of conspiracy theorists claiming that there are, you know, hundreds of true Fae incursions, and then people are just hiding, you know, hiding them and keeping them secret.
Yeah, that, like, there might be hundreds of true Fae in the city, and they're just disguised as changelings.
Or, you know, the city itself is a true Fae. You know, small things like that.
Yeah, others think that, well, maybe it's caused by all supernaturals because we don't differentiate because we're stupid, hate people. But yeah, there's a lot of
You
theories.
don't see this bullshit in Wolf Country.
No, you don't.
Very emphatically do not. So,
But yeah, so as those of you who are ascending the escalator, definitely see more people freaking out and other people just confused, because in most systems this is kind of a rare thing, or if they've even heard of it at all. So it's just like, so you can kind of get a good sense. You're basically all of your tourist radar is going off. As you can see, the people who are freaking out are locals, and the people who are just confused are out-of-towners.
Orchard, please send the pamphlet about Firethorn to everyone in the convention center and around it. Please and thank you.
Okay.
Especially the out-of-towners.
I'm sorry, what was that
So-
again? My brain ADHD'd on me.
June is asking Orchard to send everyone in the convention center and around the convention center, especially the non-locals, the pamphlet about Firethorn that is handed out at Idun City.
Orchard's like, great idea. This does not count as one of your favors, because I am here to help.
Much obliged.
Thing. And yeah, everyone gets a pamphlet about it. Wait. Oh. So, good news, everyone gets it. Bad news, it doesn't really do much to relieve tensions.
No, but
But
they're
you know,
not to touch it.
Also, now everyone has a carved tourism pamphlet. Because it's technically on the back of the pamphlet. I can reach over and grab it and show you what it looks like.
I've got
That's
it.
not a bad thing.
Not the worst thing, but it's they need to know not to touch the damn stuff, especially if they're not from town.
Yep, good idea. But yeah, a lot more people are a little uneasy. There's a sharp, pointy psychotropic substance climbing the walls, and it's still climbing. Oh dear. By this point, Dune, it is almost all the way up the building. It is like something out of a freaky monster movie, even by NWoD standards. It's like, what? And there are sirens, and there are fire trucks, and largely it's fire trucks, and also other emergency vehicles setting up their triage centers a few blocks away, because it's still growing, and they're not sure how much further it's going to go. The surrounding streets are just like a whole briar, like a Sleeping Beauty style briar bramble patch of just blood red.
Yike.
Yeah. And I'm like, well,
If
fire's the only thing that'll take care of it that I know about. So if you know anybody in there with fire, I can try and see if anybody outside has got a flamethrower.
Basically, the Code Monkey board is going, WTF? What? We can't hack our way out of this. What do we do? And they're all
Look.
some of the hacker kids are freaking out, but on text.
Okay.
So lots of people texting in all caps with a lot of exclamation points.
So I will try to at least
Lots of
calm down the
text.
hackers, because the hackers may be able to route things. Even if I can't, someone try to calm down the crowd. Things are getting out of control. I will say that.
Tried that in the basement.
Somebody who's actually good at this.
okay,
That's you, yeah.
At this point,
But
a
I will
figure
try to.
stands in the middle of the giant intake vestibule, where all the security detectors and everything, and before the main door to the exhibit hall and the balconies of the other floors, there stands a shadow, 6 or 7 feet tall, in a polythene dinosaur costume with the motor going off in the middle. And he's just like, my time has come. Taking off the top of the helmet, what everyone who isn't a change, Petruchio, what you just see is sort of a big guy with kind of bad skin. Changelings and Klaus, what you see is another dinosaur head. He's like,
oh crap.
but he does this very strange thing where he just sort of calmly, takes his in his tiny arm and just sort of and just there is this dinosaur roar.
Presley, I'm
And against
not
all odds,
crazy, right?
everyone
That-
stops what they're doing and just sits there. And players will not take any conditions, but NPCs are just suddenly like, there's a T-Rex screaming at us. We are going to stay as still as we possibly can.
Sudden strains of Jurassic Park start playing in the background.
that
Presley's just
weird-
internally losing her shit because it's a dinosaur.
that guy's
Dino-
actually a dinosaur, isn't
dino
he?
costume.
Presley's just like,
Yeah, that guy's.
A few other people are kind of excited by this prospect.
dinosaur.
Fuck.
Is he a changeling? Is he a hedge beast? Is he a transformed mage? You don't know.
Apparently he's a dinosaur. To be fair, if anyone actually tells me he looks like a dinosaur, he's obviously a changeling. But there's a guy, he screamed and
Actually,
everyone
no.
calmed down. That was
Petruchio,
weird.
everyone sees the dino head. Fuck it.
Ah,
Everyone
yes.
sees
he
it.
actually made it
Yes.
weird. That makes sense.
There are changelings who can do shit like that, but it could be a lot of things. There's a dino in a dino costume.
Probably not a werewolf.
I'm imagining that for a moment.
You
Weird
heard-
dinosaur.
Yo, Dune, you have heard some stories, is all I'm saying. There are no Molokai in this setting, but that doesn't mean there are not stories. Fadir, I hope you enjoy my take on your NPC drop.
Go
Yes,
dino.
the bellowing end of the first Jurassic Park movie, and everyone shuts the fuck up and just, and you're pretty sure silence has descended on all of the con spaces you can hear from here.
Forum seems like it's calmed down a bit.
Yes, even in
Far
the
off in a
basement.
far-off corner,
The
a
basement
pin drop.
definitely. And there are a few other people who are just like, dinosaur! But, like,
Losing her shit.
and he just sort of, like, takes his tiny claw and goes, and bows a little bit, and puts his dino head back on, and just stands there waiting for instructions.
So wait, so he took off his dino head and revealed his real dino head.
Yes, well,
Yes.
it's harder to
screams.
scream with it on.
Can be heard.
But how else does a dinosaur get to go to a sci-fi con? Or whatever that was. And he just sort of puts his head back on and quietly walks somewhere. Actually walks towards one of the cafes. Because he needs some tea for his vocal cords. The day is saved by Dino Opera.
Except, we're
This
still
guy's
in the
coming.
middle of a growing Sleeping Beauty situation, only without the actual sleeping part, which is good.
Arcane, I apologize if we can't get to your eager galactic IRS agent tonight, but we will save him for later if we need to.
So those of you who have dealt with Firestorm before, is it going to break the glass on the upper floor windows? Is it heavy enough that it will break glass?
PCs, you may roll.
Because I do not know. I've never encountered Firestorm before. I don't think.
Intelligence plus academics? I don't know. What else is
I would say
appropriate?
intelligence plus either occult or science.
Let's go for a cult.
Because those tend to overlap in this setting a lot.
Sure, those are
That's
the same
why
for
I
me,
like
but
it.
What are we doing? Sorry, I zoned out for a moment.
Is Firethorn, will it break the glass windows?
Oh.
11,
okay.
which I think is 2 successes. Is that right?
14 for 3.
Is Klaus still stunned by the dino performance?
A little bit.
My gods. I don't even have any gods, but my gods.
I got 3 successes
Okay.
on knowing that. I'm running several processes at once here.
You did not bring enough of self-medication for this kind of day.
Nope. I'm halfway convinced that I had something bad. It's very, very unlikely that I have, like, bad drugs,
And
but
right now the guy in your head is like,
I'm
see, this is
seeing
way
some
more
shit.
fun. This is so much more fun than just staying at home, right?
I'm
And now
going
you
to
get
have
to
a
save
mental
people.
breakdown when we're done with this.
You've seen
Why wait?
Firethorn before. Did Pricely roll, or is Pricely also stunned by this amazing performance of Dinosaur?
I am still obsessed with that it was a dinosaur. She is still losing her shit and processing that it was actually a dinosaur.
You can tell the people who are having more of the Pricely reaction because they're actually just photographing this guy with their phones.
Presley just turns around, is like, selfie.
Like, same effect, but different cause. So yeah, with all your successes, it is strong enough to break standard like silica glass. A lot of the windows in the convention center might be glass or might be transparent aluminum or other kind of, like, it's not the kind of place where they would be like holographic, like hard light hologram. Do we have that here?
We should.
We should. Anyway, we'll get to that later. At the very least, this is probably like the space plexiglass or transparent aluminum.
Okay.
So it could still do some damage, but as long as it's a nice, tightly sealed kind of area, you should be okay. Also, Sal Convention Center, part of its interesting history was that this structure was supposedly also used for a Red Plague outbreak. But was...
Wild.
So supposedly this building can be hermetically sealed. Obviously they cleaned it up before using it as a convention center.
I should hope so.
Okay.
Also, I forget when I said that thing happened. Because I forgot my own system's history. Because there's a lot going on.
I remember reading about it. That was a long, long time ago, and I struggle with real-world dates, let alone fantasy dates.
Anyway, so the crowd is quieted for a moment.
Does anyone seem to look like they have any idea of what we're doing?
Well, on the upside, so the private security guards, some of them also seem to pull out, kind of put on an extra badge, which locals recognize as, again, Firethorn reservist. Not all the private security has them. All the cops are just like coordinating and checking the cops basically go into automatic mode where they are just checking all the exits, closing all the exits for now, making sure all the windows are closed, working with ordering around private security and also maintenance staff to like make sure everything's closed, make sure everything's locked down, so we were at least safe in here. If those, recycled air generators still work, please turn them on. The air recycling units. And, yeah, so the cops are definitely on it, because emergency services actually does their jobs in this system. It's amazing. But yeah, you don't get a sense that they have a plan of what to do next. They're just in full force securing the building. So after that moment of silence, all the civvies are still being quiet, but the cops are all definitely talking on communicators and walkie-talkies, and
I will go talk to that fire elemental.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might want to round up as many fire elementals as you can find, because we may have to burn our way out of here.
Yes, I've heard of so you get goblin fruit and firethorn.
This is new. I've never seen this before, and I've seen a lot of strange things.
One of the kids at the table is like, actually, we do get firethorn here a lot. We don't know why. There's a lot of conspiracy theories.
Well, we can conspiracy theory our way out of this predicament and have a long conversation about it next time.
We'll tell you all about it if you're new. You don't have to join the church if that sounded like a creepy thing. Like, we'll just tell you. It's fine. We're just nice.
I'm sure you are. Oh, sending a note to Tajman. Get everyone to safety. Follow the orders of the people in charge. Don't do anything stupid. I mean, especially stupid. Tajman, I'm talking to you. Don't do anything stupid.
I don't even know what Firethorn is. How will I know if I'm being stupid?
Don't go near it. Don't touch it. Don't try to lick it. Don't apply it to your body in any capacity. Avoid Firethorn. All costs.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and reach out to any of my cousins in the area, which I know there are lots, and see who's got the illegal stills. I'm looking for 99%. I'm looking for 99 proof. Or better.
We want the most Molotov-y of Molotovian cocktails.
Oh yeah! You know exactly where I'm going with this.
We don't want to burn the building down.
Yeah, that's
No.
one of the things.
But if we haven't got flamethrowers at the start.
Yeah, a whole bunch of your
But
cousins...
you're not- If it's glass, I'm not gonna catch the facade on fire. You know.
a whole bunch of your cousins have already mobilized. Yeah, people are also mobilizing outside because this is the biggest you've maybe ever heard of an incursion. You've seen it grow up a smaller building, but not like all around an Idun City block. Like this is just what?
Inside the building.
Thus far, basically you overhear the cops on their loud communicators. So far it hasn't gotten inside the building yet. But you are hearing, those of you who are inside are hearing reports that it has entirely circled the building, climbed up the building, and is taken over the entire street and sidewalk surrounding the building. So people are also evacuating all those hotels. So there's a lot going on in Farmtown.
Yeah. And we're gonna try and, outside probably gonna try and set up burn lines and that kind of thing to keep it from getting to the other hotels. Yeah. But
a bunch of changelings with their hedge beasts have already shown up, but this is like it's a lot. Like that time with the park, like that, it was a park, so it's kind of big, but it was a lot.
It was the whole park.
So they're doing their best. It does seem to have stopped growing, but it's like nibble, 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 nibble.
All right, I'm gonna
full. You see the lady, the Irish lady with the fish, the flying fish, just going, oh hello, and just go for it, boys, and it's like nibble, 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 nibble.
All right, I'm gonna grab the Irish lady, not just.
Oh, I also.
So the way I see it is that if it stopped growing, then at least it's probably static as it is. So what I want you to try and do is to get your beasts in a line and try and eat a way clear to one of the entrances, so we can start evacuating people out the building in case it tries to get in.
All right, good idea. And
and I'm gonna start organizing cousins to start setting up burn lines where we're just gonna lay down lines of alcohol or whatever and light them.
Basically, a chief, one of the firefighting chiefs, kind of also is brought in and is like, oh yep, and starts like walkie-talkieing, like, we're gonna concentrate all the hedge beast activity in one area, and yeah.
Yes, we want to get people out in case the Firethorn gets in, because if it gets in, there's no place to go from there. Okay. This isn't one of those hotels with a connection to the underground subway. It's just.
The convention center does not have a direct connection to the subway. No.
Yeah, because Reunion Arena in Dallas does, but this one doesn't.
There are some that do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will send a text message to my friends in the NWoD. Hey, does anyone know if Firethorn reacts poorly to the Nova Mantle?
And they're like, if you've got like a mastery level mantle, maybe I wouldn't risk it, dude. Like this stuff fucks you up.
Well, yeah, I'm aware of that, but
also, if you're gonna burn your way out, you wanna wear a mask, because the fumes can fuck you up.
Don't smoke the Firethorn.
Don't smoke Firethorn.
in that group text, hey, any of you master level Nova Court people in the convention center?
Yes, there are 4 of them. Or no,
Cool.
Nova Court. We'll say there are 3 big, powerful Nova Court members, or rather 2 Nova Court and 1 Summer Court.
Cool. Meet at the Church of the Weird in the to help sort this out. Unless you're doing something else.
At least one of them is text back. You're in the Church of the Weird. Okay.
No,
Are they nice? Are they weird? I don't know.
at the Church of the Weird. I'm not in the Church of the Weird.
like religion is a strange thing in the setting. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but they're very nice, and there's a fire elemental here, so.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, so
I mean,
they get,
religion normally leads to vampires, but
well, it's so handy for feeding. Yeah, so you get so yeah, and the Church of the Weird people are also calling in their people and checking in with loved ones and stuff like that, and doing it quietly. And Melissa has kind of gathered, including Alistair, the squeaky-voiced gentleman, who, as you're looking at, look, he's kind of got, like, he's a Ferris, but he's got, like, horns and, like, these kind of leathery wings tucked back, and, okay. He is a tiny dragon. Maybe. And he's just like, okay.
I'm not a lizard. I don't do that tongue thing.
Yes.
I don't even know what that's from, and I'm sad for it.
Come on.
Which one?
It's Mushu.
Oh! I haven't seen that in eons.
I'm surprised that I was able to place that, but I don't know.
It's my cousin's favorite princess, so I have the ability to quote Mushu all the time.
So, yes.
So I will note, with everyone focused on disaster relief, Petruchio, 1, feels like he is not particularly useful for disaster relief, and 2, feels like
you have people for that.
Yeah, and feels like 1, and 2 feels like, well, if I had an actual plan, this would be a fantastic time to do skullduggery while everyone is distracted by the Firethorn disaster. I don't, but I should keep an eye out to see if anybody else with with an interesting plan is doing something while everyone is distracted by the Firethorn disaster.
You do have that back door you installed to the Chiron systems.
It's true, but I don't have anything useful to do with it right now. If I thought that I could actually get more information about their mining plans, I would.
Oh, I will send a note to Megs to keep their head down.
To who to keep their head down?
Megs.
I will also send this to the hacktivists, among other things, to help keep them calm if they're looking for people making trouble, and also if they want to make trouble, this is a great time.
Let me see. Okay, so roll, let's say, wits investigation.
Sure. Six. Not my best roll. No successes.
Yeah.
Unless I'm using hacking, in which case it'd be 8.
Well, how would you use hacking to spy on the convention?
Basically, so I'm hacking into cameras around the area because I'm looking for signs and trails that somebody is trying to use the situation to put in place some kind of intrusion or other plan while everyone's distracted.
You don't see much of that, but in the expo hall, you do start spying someone. Someone is sort of gathering people around them and talking in hushed whispers, and you can pick out the audio, basically saying, well, the Firethorn is all the Supernats faults, right? Like, like in other systems we're totally safe from them because the Imperium protects us, but not here, and the only reason the Firethorn is happening is because Supernats get to be out, and they're not wearing anything that says humanity first. He's not wearing the equivalent of a space MAGA hat.
And yet somehow he is carrying that mantle. You know?
Well, no
Yep.
mantle, because anybody a changeling. But yeah, he's
No, that was my point.
Oh yeah. You do get a sense that, and you do see a few other. So it's like, okay, the douchebags are inside the building also, trying to
Lament.
assuade people to their bullshit.
I will.
Wait,
ask-
they don't have a permit for being inside the building.
Well, no, but they
Oh.
have badges.
Oh, that's true.
And they're not protesting, they're just telling people Supernats are evil.
Can you get a visual idea on that guy's badge?
Sure. I will tell people are doing that. I can start trying to heckle him. And I'm not particularly awful at heckling.
It's not just one guy, unfortunately.
But I can do that in one group. I can't do that to everyone doing it.
Mhm.
Captain Bloody Nose cop over there.
Yeah.
Hey, would you do me a favor and see if Orchard can pull up external security of the building and see where this Firethorn thing started and when? Since it started on the outside of the building, we should have a time lapse, be able to time lapse when it happened, and if anybody happened to be standing next to it right before, say, erupted, so that we have somebody to, go punch in the face for this. Legally, of course.
Yeah, it's like we're not.
If any concerned citizens happen to find them on their way to bringing them into jail.
We're not. I get it, but we don't really allow that here,
we don't.
and that's a good thing. But
Of
that's still a good idea to look for the time. Yeah, we can. I can call that in. It's like, and he starts calling it in. It's like, can we get a look at where the Firethorn started in case this was, more intrusion shenanigans. And what they get back is just that it seemed to start all at once, all around the perimeter of this building.
Unhelpful.
Yeah. But it seemed to grow a little bit faster on the side of the building facing the protesters. But they can't get a pinpoint of anyone, doing it. But, they don't really know, Firethorn, they've never managed to track down someone actually, growing it. They've seen people, try to mess with it themselves, and there was recently that weird drug thing that happened. Don't smoke the Firethorn.
Hey, Petruchio.
Yeah.
Pull up the audio for one of those guys who's trying to blame the Firethorn on the Supernats.
Sure.
Point it up towards the ceiling where the Firethorn is, and play it real loud and see if the Firethorn reacts. Just humor me.
Sure. Let's do better than that. I will rent a cab, and a RoboCab.
Inside the building?
No, I'm going to use.
Oh.
No, I'm going to rent it outside the building.
Uber! Space lift!
And specifically rent one that allows for telepresence, that you can use to take pictures from outside. And then hack it if necessary, in order to be able to broadcast, to send music out through it. That probably doesn't even require hacking if all I'm doing is sending an audio file.
You will have to hack because the robo cabs cannot come into this area right now because it's been cordoned off by emergency services.
So that's what I need to hack it for, is to actually get the RoboCab in the area. Sure.
Yeah.
And then what I want to do is have it playing this person's voice outside to see with a camera running to see if it reacts. But first, let me roll for the hacking.
Okay.
This person's voice saying the things that they are saying, and then
That succeeds. It's plus 12. I don't know what the base number is, but it's
Well, if it's active hacking, then it's intelligence plus computers, I think is what I keep saying.
Yeah, that's what you've been using. So that's going to be a base of 10 plus 12 is 22.
So yeah, people are somehow you managed to not only get this car hacked to go past the security borders, but also in a way that none of the security personnel see it or try to stop it, and maybe a couple people are just like, what? Okay, it's empty, we don't care. No one's in danger, we have other things to deal with right now. So that's the good news. The bad news is, while you do get the voice thing to go off, the Firethorn does not seem to react to it.
No, that's fine. That is useful information. You wanted a test, we got a negative test. Also, if we want to do any more tests, we happen to have a cab.
Yeah, it just sort of sat there in front of the Firethorn, and everyone's like, glitchy cab, let's keep... So yeah, there are not enough gas masks for everyone in the building, is what you're getting from emergency services. Since Holiday is not in Carve yet, but the other three of you all have reservist badges, so you are being let in on
operations.
Yeah, operations. There's for inside the building, there are enough air filtration masks for emergency services and reservists, but not everyone in the building.
Right.
So burning out, like, it's not impossible, but they will have to figure out how to get people away from the side of the building they are burning out of.
What skill is a proc? Yep. What skill is a proxy for architecture?
I would allow science or academics.
Okay.
Let me double check this. Architecture. Yeah, I'd say academics or science.
Basically, I'm trying to plot out an area of the building that, if people crowded into that area, could be sealed off to the point where effectively it would be a gas mask without actually having to hand out individual gas masks.
Yep, they're definitely in the large rooms can be sealed off. Or basically all the rooms can be individually hermetically sealed. It's just going to take a little while for them to get everyone into those rooms.
Okay.
And keep everyone calm, because, you know, all these rooms will be very full.
I mean, didn't we miss a Saturday rave? Just declare it in one of the big rooms.
Actually, no, because it is Sunday, so it's not as bad as it could be if it were Friday.
Or Saturday.
Or Saturday, which didn't happen. Because didn't you hear the True Fae attacked? Or not really attacked, but just sort of beckoned.
Huh. Now, if the dealers held a big sale...
Well, I mean, it's Sunday. There's already that happening.
That's true.
But yeah, basically the private security, I guess, fire marshal is kind of becoming the center of the administration. And he's like, well, I mean, if we're gonna burn through it, yeah, we can just try and usher everyone into the big rooms from here, and anyone who's in a conference room, just tell them to stay there and lock the doors electronically. We could do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in the dealer's room selling old military surplus?
Yes, to some extent, but a lot of it is kind of old and defunct. Mostly collector's items at this point. There are some weapons.
I'm looking for a weapon. I'm looking for a hazmat suit.
No, those kinds of things don't usually sell well at cons.
Yeah. At least not this kind of con.
Yeah.
I will flash my dog tags at the guy selling them. Are you sure you don't have anything in the back?
Alright, if you want to roll for it, let's say that is... I'd say that is presence. And socialize.
I have those. I have both of those. Okay. Let's see. That is a 15.
Okay. All right. He's got kind of a like it doesn't look bad, but it is an older suit from the Silent War.
Perfect.
So it is space worthy, but might be a little buggy. You want to be careful. Like, what do you want this for exactly?
So that I'm not taking up air someone else needs. I'll sign it for you after I get done using it. Then you could say it was worn by a Marine who fought in the Silent War.
Oh, cool. All right, deal. And if you damage it, it's 200 credits.
Give it 200 credits now, just in case.
All right, cool. Yeah, man. And it's just like, yeah, it's. Thank you for your service. So yeah,
I've got a gas mask now.
Melissa's got her minions, and she's like, I mean, we can burn our way out, but what would we use for the fumes? 'Cause my phone tells me that the fumes are very bad.
I'm wondering if we can burn it hot enough that it actually doesn't kick off that gas.
Not impossible, but difficult.
I don't know enough about this particular plant to know anything about it.
Are you gonna text Dune about your burning your way out?
No, because I'm not in charge.
Fair enough.
We should go talk to the fire marshal and tell him at least put what we have on the table for in terms of
Burning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's upstairs in the. At first, the cops are like, could you please stay where you are? And then it is explained to them, and they're like, oh, okay. And just like fire marshal was sending some changelings up your way who might be able to help, and yeah, you'll head up, and yeah, the fire marshal is coordinating and is like, well, if we're having emergency services inside the big rooms to keep everyone calm, then they don't need gas masks, so we will have a few to spare, just not enough for everyone here.
Yeah.
So, all right, this could work.
I mean, we've got a fire team.
Yeah, take your word for it. And he looks at a cop that he might know is a changeling. The changeling's like, yeah, could work. So yeah, you've got some Nova Court and some Summer Court and some church members. And yeah, so you've got maybe like 8 people altogether who are like, yeah, we could just try to burn out a path.
Yeah. I'm more concerned.
Other people are talking about, could we evacuate through the sewers? Because the mayor's always bragging about the sewers, but I'm not sure if we could actually do that safely.
I'm not sure the fire was not in the sewers.
Some vampires are just really into sewers. I don't know why.
Sorry.
If you want, we could we could organize a group of people to check out the sewers, see if there's a safe path through while you sort out the burn unit while we wait for the building to hermetically seal.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. So, and then the fire marshal kind of starts talking into a communicator that then projects into the rest of the building. Can convention goers, guests, employees, please follow the directions of emergency services to the nearest doorway. We are further sealing you into secure locations so that when we try to dispatch the Firethorn, no one will be hurt. Please maintain calm. Please listen to directions. We are just trying to help you. Please go to emergency services if you have any questions in a calm and orderly manner. And let's see how he rolls. Oh, good. People are like kind of looking for direction right now, and so they actually listen to the dude on the speakers, and various police officers and security start ushering people into other rooms, and basically most of the people in this vestibule area is mostly what has to be cleared. So people are just sort of going into the expo hall. Some people are not happy about this because of what they heard happened in there the other day, but they're doing it. And you basically hear the door to the dealer's room close and lock. Eventually, the doors to the expo hall all close and lock, and you hear a sort of sound. And eventually it is much, much quiet. The dinosaur has gone somewhere. You don't know where. You may never know. Where did he come from? Where did he go?
Where did you come from, Cat Eye Joe?
I'm
Where did
pretty
he come
sure
from?
he went to a
Tyrannosaur
cafe
Joe.
to get some tea, but you know.
Where did you come from, Tyrannosaur Joe? Please don't mute this stream, Twitch. We are just silly, silly people. Yeah, so, do y'all wanna roll for the... If we're having NPCs fix this, I have to make some rolls.
And I mean, would people inside know the people outside are trying to eat a path in?
Yeah, so they kind of at this point they're like, well, we have some hedge beasts starting to make their way through. It can't be a tunnel because they're worried if someone is too tall, they will just get nicked in the head. So they're basically clearing a full swath through the street towards the front doors. So let me get some more D10s. Woohoo!
I mean, Holiday, are you coordinating these? Do you want to roll or?
No,
I
this
can't.
is
For the fire team.
yeah.
At least one on the inside.
Yeah, so you've got your hopefully space-worthy suit. Or
I checked it. I checked it. I have one of these. I know how they work.
Yeah, it does seem to work. You're not sure how good it would be actually in space.
Yeah.
In space, but here it's more of a trying to keep something out rather than trying to keep air in, and you're pretty sure you'll be okay.
I put the odds 60%.
Better than half.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's not
roll
like
the
you had an
dice.
opportunity to go into a airlock and set up a pressure differential for a real test.
Okay. Yay! They rolled good.
Oh, good.
And also, it's come to the end of the game, so it's like, okay. So yeah, y'all get, those of you in the building who are PCs get masks, except Holiday, who has his spacesuit, who suddenly shows up in a Silent War era, military spacesuit.
Like he's worn it before.
Yeah, he seems to know how to wear it. He
Do
wears it.
vampires need to breathe? Is this actually a problem?
You don't actually need to breathe, but, it can
If you
still
want to
affect you if you...
breathe.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Having something to protect my mucous membranes is still a good idea, but
Even if they're made of blood at this point, it's still like, yeah. So that, like, you do might notice there is at least one other vampire in here working on it, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to risk inhaling if I want to say something. It's much easier in space where there's just nothing to breathe in. Usually. Shit happens. Alright, so yeah, you've got about 8 various summer Nova Court and just fire elementals and a tiny dragon boy named Alistair. And they all sort of, I guess, focus fire on a particular kind of swath, and they, the emergency services directs them to the kind of line up with the door that these other guys, and they very carefully, slowly open this one set of double doors. Are like, oh, please don't keep growing. Okay, it's not growing anymore. Phew. And so between the nibbling hedge beasts, and the nibbling hedge beasts kind of take a break because they're like, oh, fire, let's retreat a bit. Okay. The fish and more tiny dragons and a few cows, but they're blue because it's the hedge. The hedge beasts kind of retreat back through the swatch in an as orderly a fashion as flying fish can. And yeah, altogether they got more than 10 successes to burn out. So yeah, they just very carefully, it takes a long time because they are trying to focus fire on one place so that it just nebulizes rather than smokes, which they're hoping makes a difference. And yeah, so it takes a few hours, but they do manage to get through, maybe like an hour or two. Get through a big enough swatch that people can, then very, very carefully, emergency services basically puts up, like, wooden and metal barriers along the edges of this trench. And start slowly, like, once they've tested the air quality, they start letting people very slowly out of the building, one room at a time, starting with the little ones on the upper floors, just to make sure this theory works. And it's like, all right, this is it. And that takes like another couple hours.
Hey, Patricio?
Yep.
You got IDs on all those people who were spreading scurrilous words towards the supernatural community upstairs, didn't you?
I was thinking that I should have. We had a lot of stuff going on. Can we say that I got those?
Yeah.
Especially since there's reason to be suspicious that maybe the anti-Supernat people are in fact spreading the Firethorn, and it may have just gotten out of control this time.
We might want to mark those people for folks we want to have a conversation with later.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that, especially if any of them aren't shipped off from out of town. Because if they're doing these Firethorn things, then they have to have someone local. It can't just be people from outside.
Okay. So
Also, Holiday, you and I should have a conversation at some point.
Why? That sounds like it would be a dangerous proposition.
Or an interesting one.
That's also a verb.
No, it's not.
That's an adjective, but we're going to call it a verb because we're inside the spacesuit.
I believe conversation is in fact the verb in either case. Never mind that.
Yeah, but you didn't change the verb. You changed the adjective. So it's like
Adverb.
It's interesting, but it's still a conversation.
That's why it's an adverb.
I'll give you that one.
Conversation is actually a noun in this case, and so it's an adjective. You're correct, but never mind that.
Sending a note to class. How is your brain friend doing?
I don't know. How is the brain friend doing?
Oh, I forgot about your brain friend. Your brain friend alternates from, you should really help that person, to like, Hey, what would happen if you said that, yeah, supernaturals make the Firethorn? Like, what would happen?
Oh, okay. So just exacerbating the issues that are already
Yeah,
going on in there.
There's
Great.
there's
We
so
love
much
that.
going on.
I
And
will
Klaus,
respond with, oh, you know, just being a little shit. I think I need to go home and actually maybe sleep for the first time in who knows how long.
A couple decades.
8 days. Sleep, meh.
How's your guest doing?
Not good. We'll just leave it at that.
Bryce, did you catch that pixie head?
That
That
was actually a pixie that I genuinely saw.
No, I sent that to Presley. Presley,
Okay.
you located the pixie. Yes, no.
Hi, I zoned out. Say that again.
The pixie.
Pixie. Had
Did
you
you get
looked
it?
I mean, I ducked. It didn't hit me.
you did get splashed in the face with some green glitter, but like that's
I did.
just a potential style choice.
Just like stays there. Look what I did at con, guys.
I was dubiously poking the glitter.
Yes. Just
Prodding
looks at
Priceley's
finger,
face.
is now covered in glitter, and is trying to get it off. Oh, the glitter never leaves. The glitter stays. You will be finding that for eons.
Oh, I know. Do you know how many clubs I've been to that have had like some glitter shit going on?
Some
I'll try to stay away from those.
multi-layered glitter experience. There's glitter in the air recycling, there's glitter in the drinks, there's glitter on the amplifiers.
Glitter everywhere.
Coughing up glitter for a week after I go to those things.
Well, luckily now most glitter is biodegradable.
Woo!
Now instead of MLM, it's MLGs, multi-level glitters.
The future is a dangerous place. Glitter is really nanomachines. Maybe. Glitter nanites. I mean, nanites are a thing.
It's possible at this point that people have invented actual safe for consumption glitter as opposed to won't kill you.
There is edible glitter.
There is, but edible glitter is edible in the sense it won't poison you. You still shouldn't eat it.
Luster
It's
dust.
inert.
Yeah.
Luster dust for cakes.
On the other hand, though, if you got like nanite glitter, it could be color changing because all it would have to do is you'd change, literally on the nanobot, all you have to do is change like the construction. The minerals reflect things because they have impurities in them, so like you would change the structural impurities of the nanite and it would change the kind of light it refracts, if that makes any sense.
Or it's just got a tiny light in it. That it changes the gels.
Yeah.
And tiny, tiny gels. But yeah, I mean, that is what
That would be
some plugins are.
glitter. That would be bioluminescent glitter, and that would be even cooler, honestly.
There are plugins that do that.
Because glitter itself is just reflecting light. If it's actually giving off light, then I don't know that it's glitter anymore. But yeah.
All right. Is there anything else? Anything else y'all want to cover before we close out this anthology of convention stories?
I will go make sure that Todgeman and Gale are not injured.
Yeah, they're a little freaked out, and Gale might be a little bit less sure about, like, this is a thing that happens frequently?
Not on this scale.
Not super frequently.
It's happened twice in, like, the 6 months we've been,
Oh, no, it's happened a lot more. Those are just the ones you were there for.
Fair enough.
It happens at least on a weekly basis. Sometimes daily.
But, like, usually it's a couple of creepers or something, and
Yeah.
it's taken care of pretty quickly.
Sometimes a couple people are trapped in an alleyway, or they're home, or something, but this is massive scale that everyone's just sort of... Everyone of the emergency services workers are startled but they are doing their best to focus on their jobs so that they can actually help everyone. But there will be conversations later over many glasses of beverage, many of which will be alcoholic, but probably not all. And
Yeah.
just people saying, has any of us seen shit on that scale before? Like, what the fuck was that?
No, the cousins had brought, at this point, several gallons worth of heavily flammable materials, so when the burning is ready to start in earnest, we've got the stuff for it.
Yeah, first they evacuate the building. Then, like, more and more hedge beasts are showing up, like, over the course of the next several hours. Like, they're bringing in everyone. You're pretty sure this might be the entire reservist corps for Firethorn fighting. Like, anyone who can leave their house today. That's a bad way to put it, considering we're on quarantine. Anyone who can mobilize today is mobilizing. All species, all types of manner of magics, hedge beasts, mages, even vampires. Although the vampires are more, there for, management.
Crowd control.
Crowd control, also, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of an interesting, like, everyone's still very freaked out because, like, what the fuck is this after, another what the fuck hit the city. But everyone's very much coming together to work on this emergency problem. Many more analytical types in the emergency services are studying it and taking samples. Like, what makes this one different? Why is it so much bigger? Excuse me.
Meanwhile, I've
Now I have hiccups.
texted my aunt to tell her to stay off the rooftops around this location. Partially because Firethorn, mostly because we're going to start burning it and the smoke's going to be a pain in the ass, so.
Oh, understood. Bios, get the gas masks! Or
Oh, is that
rather,
werewolf
they're all
vampire?
carrying gas masks because they're all bat persons.
Yep.
So they're like, all right,
Batman.
bios, gas masks on! And now she can talk like Darth Vader. Hello, nephew. So now she's also Darth Vader. Yeah. So yeah, no people were harmed that you were aware of.
Yeah.
The final casualty counts later, because I don't imagine we were totally lucky. Whoever was too close got caught up, probably.
Kind of fucked up the last day of con, but it was already kind of broken. And, managed to shut down a protest of annoying haters. And Patricia, I'll just give it to you. None of those people are local.
None of them. Okay. All of them came in presumably specifically to protest against Supernats.
To foment discord, yes, or try to.
Oh, I wonder if any of them were hired.
You could, we could talk about that later.
Next time.
Next time.
Follow the money.
Follow the money. This is partially a cyberpunk story.
Yep, and Dune's just been Dune. The group he got, he broke up and trying to deprogram them. Just show them that a person's a person, no matter how small, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It works on some, it doesn't work on others, but
Some of the younger ones are a bit more malleable.
Try and do to them what Holiday did for Frentic and Todgeman.
Yeah, Gail's definitely having some second thoughts about her plan to relocate to the city and start a whole thing, but she's like, I'll still work. I mean, but it is very impressive when an entire city infrastructure of people actually works. And everyone is working together, and it's a socialist paradise. Semi-socialist paradise. And
especially because everyone is showing up.
As Lisa says, listening from outside, semi-socialist, semi-paradise.
Semi-socialist, semi-paradise. Well, I mean, yeah. Would be paradise, except for this pesky Firethorn problem. Yikes. But yeah, by the end of the day, people are talking about, could we get bigger hedge beasts from outside the city? Maybe?
Bigger hedge beasts from outside the city?
Yup.
I didn't know they existed. But I didn't think the changelings liked outside the city as much. Because outside the city, the goblin fruit doesn't grow in the streets.
True, but there are changelings that seem to have other proclivities than just goblin fruit. And there were changelings in Wolf Country that
Not as
kind of
many.
did their own thing and understood that they were not in charge of Wolf Country.
Yeah.
And also there are, well, yeah, not so much changelings, but mages. There are more spirit mages outside of the city, just not in it for the same reason there aren't many werewolves.
Yep. Arcane the Sage. I thought for a second you were going to say emotional support vampires.
That's what vampires do in EMS. We are emotional support kindred.
Embracing's just a hug, right?
I'm writing this down.
I mean, there are plenty of people who get hypnotized for fun or profit.
When have I not used Majesty to shut down a mob? That's what it's for. Oh, the shiny and glittery. He's like, no, it's don't punch me. If there isn't a chapter of the Circle of the Crone doing emotional support vampirism, like, there is. It's my game. There is.
Totally.
This is the way of the goddess. Anyway, anything else? Anyone else wants to wrap up?
Nope. That's as much as...
Actually, sure. Once people are out and things are starting to calm down, and we can have a moment for a conversation, Petruchio will turn to Holiday and say, all right, you looking for a job?
I am potentially in the market for a job, though I do take a lot of side work.
Who doesn't?
I think that's a good place to wrap.
Oh, I will return that suit of armor and sign it.
Oh, yeah. He's like, dude, thanks. Thanks again for your service, dude. Awesome.
Oh, no, I will sign it.
Oh. Wait.
Remember, he promised to sign it that it would be signed by a Marine who worked against the Silence.
Yeah. I thought it was like sign a authenticity certificate kind of.
Oh, yeah, he'll do that too.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, thanks, man. Cool. I'll buy you a beer. If I figure out where I'm gonna sleep tonight, because I think my hotel's been evacuated. Also, they have all of these, large dormitory-like spaces for refugees, emergency displaced persons, etc. So people from out of town have a place to sleep tonight.
It's bunk beds with everybody else except from out of town.
Like college dormitory style. Like, it ain't fancy, but it's not cold. They get food. It's nice. That's also a similar place was used for all those changelings you rescued, but more specialized towards let's help the changelings we just rescued. You'd be surprised how often that happens here with so many changelings. All right, so I think that about wraps it for tonight's game and for the ridiculous, winding, all over the place Hackercon storyline. And I adored every minute of it, and it was everything I wanted and more. Thank you, players, for playing, because about at least half of it was not at all planned by me, but y'all was like, we want to nerf we want to poke at the megacorps and see what happens. And I'm like, yes. I want to see this too. Let me build some
impromptu chat panel.
The chat panel, that was a very...
That was funny.
That's maybe one of the best ideas
Yeah.
I've had on Twitch so far. I'm only sorry that the chat list doesn't make it to the YouTube VODs, because then you very much get a sense of the audience in chat was asking us questions and we were answering them, or not, to the best of our ability, responding to them. But
Yeah, we would have to like screen capture or something while the thing was going on. That'd be tricky.
There are ways to do it, but it's also 10:30, so maybe we talk about that later.
10:30, and I think that VOD has gone the way of has gone ephemeral at this point, unless we get something special by being affiliates now. If we had the chat on the screen, which some streamers do, but we don't. I'm not sure we have room for it. But anyway, but yes, it is 10:30. It is late. We ran late. Thank you for sticking around with us. Sorry, players, for running late. Again, because I have no attention span. Vampires! Yes, so many. I'm the GM. I'm Ms. Chrysala. I've been the GM all evening, and I'm very sleepy. So, Pricely, who are you when you're at home?
Hi, I'm Trix when I'm not playing Pricely, and I actually have a functioning Redbubble now that's
Yay!
being updated more.
Woot.
You can find my Redbubble link in my art Instagram, which is artsy_nerdling on Instagram.
Cool. Right, Petruchio, who are you when you're at home?
Sure. When I'm at home, I'm Josh. When I'm on the internet, I'm usually Neme of one sort or another. And you can find me at a variety of places, although not super public consumption most of the time. Although, you know, my Raven Boys, I'll turn the song and make it into a real song thing actually has a reasonable number of hits on it now. I wrote the Murder Squash song.
Oh. I somehow missed
and recorded it badly. What?
Link me to that. I somehow missed it.
Oh, sure.
My brain is just not working anymore. I'm #quarantine. Dune, who are you when you're at home? In your bathrobe.
I don't actually have a bathrobe anymore. No, I'm Merc. I'm usually on the Discords, especially the Zombie Orpheus one. I have no personal blogs because I don't do anything else, basically, except this. But you should definitely watch the Reliables on Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific on the Zombie Orpheus channel because it's cool. It was really funny last week because Christian Dunmock's week rolled because 2 2s. It's like, oh no, that's bad. I'll spend a reroll on it. He rerolled it and then crit failed on the reroll. And it's just like, well, that's the end of that. And he was handling grenades. It was just like, rip.
Okay, looking for people to raid. Alright, and Holiday, who are you in real life? Or as close to real as we can figure.
I am at Once and Future Doctor on Twitter. I have a blog. You can find that from Twitter. I do a couple of other things, but big things coming out in the next couple of weeks. I will keep you all informed.
Woot. All right, and Klaus, who is you?
Hi, I'm Dracus. I don't really have anything else. I mean, last weekend I made a short film with some near strangers, which was wild, strangely social, and a lot of fun. So I'll link that in chat. But you know, it's kind of a dumpster fire.
Woot, dumpster fires. I missed some of those words because I was looking for someone to raid. That's the movie you made last week.
Yeah.
Woot.
We had a 48-hour film festival at my school, and I signed up with one person that I was friends with from a class last semester and a bunch of people I didn't know, and we made a short film.
Woot. Oh, college. I miss it sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably a bit weirder in these circumstances.
It is weird. That was the most normal social thing I have done in a year. It was fun though.
Yay! A murder squash song. Okay, I'll look at that in a minute. All right. Well, chat, thank you for hanging out with us. I hope we were pleasantly distracting tonight, because I know I need distractions right now while the world continues to burn. And not in the fun Firethorn way. But yes, chat, we are...
Things are better, sort of.
We will be raiding the Dice Cult, as they're running Vampire the Masquerade. So, yep. Bye, chat. We should be here, same bat time, same bat channel, hopefully, unless my brain melts again, but I'm doing my best not to let that happen. We will raid the Dice Cult. Chat, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Be okay as you can. That your mission now is survival. So you can watch us again next week. And we can distract you again. And it just continues like a very nice cycle. Alright, so, starting raid! Raid command! Alright. Bye, chat. Wait.
Raiders away.
Almost. Almost there! Alright, now ready. Bye, chat! Bye!
See you all next week.